Hello, friends. Welcome to the stream. It is Tuesday, and we are here in Wurm Online once again. Yet another Wurm Roulette stream. And hello, Boom Shakala. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you join us here today. So, guys, for once, I actually have everything prepared. Everything's good to go, and so. Hello, the parser. I didn't forget. No. I'm wondering, by the way, this cat, like if I take my glasses off, it immediately wakes up. These darn glasses, guys. You see how it picked up right away? And then once in a while, when it has my glasses, it just loses track. It's so annoying. Anyhow, so what we are going to do today is do yet another Wurm Roulette adventure. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means that we're here in Wurm Online, which is a Sandbox MMO, my favorite MMO that has had my heart now for several years. And every single Tuesday, we go on a huge adventure off exploring a bit of the world that I've never been to before. And the tool that we use for that is this handy dandy map that I've put together, where you see all of the PvE servers, and all of these blue dots represent the spots that we have done every single Tuesday for the past months. And there's quite a few of these dots now starting to accumulate. It's starting to fill up, guys. It is starting to fill up. So last week we were here on Xanadu, and where we shall be departing from today is from my island here, the pink dot. And the way this works is we're simply going to press this handy dandy button here, and it will choose a random location on the map. So let's just get started. I'll count down 3, 2, 1 and pick destination. And it ended up on Celebration. And you know, we have not been to this particular part of Celebration, and even though it's on the sort of edge of the land there, and it's going to be really easy to get there, we can actually use the stream to go and just explore the entire place. And then that will pretty much be Celebration's upper left corner taken care of, or actually pretty much the entire top part of Celebration. So yeah, let's go ahead on to Celebration today. And I'll just copy paste that here into Photoshop. And we'll go and explore this entire area today. Let's leave it about there, I think. And then just save that. Good, and that has been updated. And also we should add that to our map here in game as well. So Celebration, and that would be just above this little lake over here. Good. And since we're going to go to another server, that means we're going to have to take all of the saddles and things like that off the saddle, rather, off the horse, and put our trusty steed into the cage here for a while. Bridle, horseshoes, and saddle. Good. Load the creature into the cage, get onto the old boat, and load cargo. There we go. I think we're ready to go. Queen in the North. Hello, NSA. Celebration. Oh my gosh, I think you're referring to that, was it Kool and the Gang song from the 80s? Man, I used to, you know, that song has a lot of nostalgia for me because back when, around that time, I would have been a young teenager, or else I'm not sure when that was actually released, that song, but at least when I used to go to the roller skating disco in the early 80s, that song would play there all the time. So that's what it reminds me of. And then there was also Ladies' Night. I think that was also by Kool and the Gang. That would play there as well. Did any of you go roller skating when you were kids? To any of those? Well, I guess a lot of people have tried roller skating, right? But how many of you actually went to roller skating discos? I mean, that was a thing back in the 80s. It was so grand. Plot course and celebration. Good. And boom, oh, the tracking? Yeah, well, I guess the camera or the tracker just gets like confused by the glasses, because there's, first of all, of course, the glass itself is shining, and probably, is confusing to the camera. And then also the frames, because I have like, my glasses have like, these thick black frames, kind of like artsy glasses. So that I'm sure that must be like confusing for the tracker. So I totally understand why FaceRig can't keep up with my glasses, but at the same time, it is, of course, annoying. It is annoying. Oh, that's what you're talking about, Boom Shakala, the having to take off the, I know, right? So you were talking about having to undress the animals to load them into the cage. I totally agree. I guess, though, when you really think about it, it is kind of understandable that... I mean, when you think about it... Thank you so much for the follow. Shut up, Aiden 117. Welcome to the stream. Are you a Wurm player? And I'm just gonna call you Shut. So I was thinking about this horse undressing thing. So I guess it does make sense in the regard of, to actually get a saddle onto a horse, you would either have to brand a horse. Man, this face rig. You would either have to brand a horse, or else you would have to tame it to get a saddle onto it. Or like any of the stuff, really, like horseshoes and bridles and so forth. So since the horse has a different status on different servers, I understand why that is, because now that I'm going to Celebration, my horse is not branded to Celebration, and also it's sort of like, because you're sort of resetting the whole like situation with relation to your animal in that scenario, right? I can't really verbalize what I'm trying to say, but I think you probably get what I'm trying to say there. So I understand it, but yes, it is really, really annoying, for sure. It is annoying. Parser tosses NSA and inhaler. Oh my goodness. Hello Draco, how are you doing today? You keep getting advertisements, but it's okay if it helps you out. So Draco, those advertisements on Twitch, are you talking about those? That's something that oh yeah, because you're subbed, and yet you get the advertisements. I wonder why that happens then. I'm gonna have to Google that, Draco. I'm curious, Draco, does that happen on anyone else's stream that you're subbed to? Or does that only happen on my stream? Because I at least I haven't set up anything special. Like I just have the default settings for all that stuff. Parser, skate away girl, Dire Straits. I don't think I've heard that song from the Dire Straits. And inclines and skateboards was the thing over there, Boom Shakala says. Yeah. It was the horse undressing. NSA didn't skate, roll, or anything like of the like. Not your field, really. You don't like falling. It hurts your knees and bum. Yeah, well, it certainly does. Oh, by the way, freaky thing, guys. So I used to do a lot of roller skating when I was a kid. And then when I moved over to Finland, I brought my roller skates with me. And so the size still kind of fit me when I was an adult. And but I didn't do anything with my roller skates. They were just like packed away in my cupboard for years and years and years. And then we had to move at some point. And then I look at my roller skates. Now this would have been like, so I kept them like in a cardboard box because I didn't have time to do any roller skating, but I just kept them in a cardboard box. And then I unpacked that cardboard. So every time I did a move, I just moved the cardboard box. So I didn't see like what my roller skates were looking like. And here's the freaky thing. What year would it have been? Would it have been maybe about 5 years ago? So I moved over from Canada. So I bought the roller skates in around 1980, maybe 1982, something like that. And then I moved over to Finland in 1988. And then I moved around as an adult. You know how it goes. You're moving around from place to place. And then about 5 years ago, I finally opened that cardboard box that had my roller skates. And you know what had happened to the wheels? You know how the wheels of roller skates are kind of this kind of rubbery, silicone-y kind of like material. Well, I don't think we even had like silicone back then in the early 80s. It was some other material, some kind of rubbery material. And it had turned to dust. Those wheels had turned to dust. Can you imagine? That was really, really astonishing. Everything else about the roller skates was still intact, but the wheels had turned to dust. Really freaky. I never did take a screenshot, or like a photograph of them, screenshot. But I should have. Aw, Draco. Cat's meow. Well, actually, no, Draco. This username was gonna be Cat's Meow in the beginning. So this username, KatsPurr, comes from the year of 1995, somewhere around that time. So we were at college, and a guy was showing me that, hey, look, you can chat online. And he was showing me IRC, in other words, Internet Relay Chat. And he was trying to convince me to start chatting on IRC, and so I had to invent a name for myself. And my first username was actually Cat's Meow, and then I later realized that Cat's Meow is actually like the Cat's Meow is sort of like a phrase, and that is sort of like the how'd you say, the creme de la creme, like the best of something, or just like it's sort of, that's what it sort of means. And then I thought to myself, no, I can't have a name like that. That's way too arrogant. That's way too vain. I don't want to have like a name like that. So then I changed it to KatsPurr, and that's what I've stuck with ever since. But yeah, that's funny. And Boom Shakala, but your stats follow. Well, but of course, what does not follow, Boom Shakala, is the branding of the horse, though. The taming does, of course, I think. Or, it could be that actually a horse that is tamed on one server does not is not tamed on the other server. I'm not sure actually, but the branding at least does not go across to the other server. So you would have to have your animal branded to some because the deed of course is not on that server either. It only happens on my stream, Draco. Seriously? What the heck? Okay, Draco, I am going to, after today's stream, I'm going to go and look into that because I have not done anything weird to my settings. That is really strange. But I'm glad that you're mentioning that because I need to look into that because if it's happening to you, it must be surely happening to everyone else. So, I don't know. I wonder if I did something by mistake. I'm not sure. Yours was a gift sub, however. I wonder if that has any effect then. We're going to have to ask... oh, Do Jensen is here. So actually, Do Jensen, you're subbed. So do you get an advertisement when you arrive to the stream? And Boom Shuckle, you're not subbed, just follow, but you did not get ads. Huh. And hello, Vera Lucky. And of course, yes, hello, Do Jensen. Nice to have you join us here. Well, Draco, again, like, yes, the advertisements do give me a little tiny bit of money, but it's so tiny, really, that it doesn't have any significance. And again, I have not said anything myself. I have not set it up that way to do that, so I don't understand. But I will check that after today's stream because that bothers me if it's acting like if it's behaving in a different way than it should. Haha, parser. Well, I wouldn't exactly say that. Not quite the same size as I was as a teenager, no. They dry out, yeah, that's what happened to those roller skate wheels, I guess so, Boom Shakala. No, I can't have a name like that, parser, no. Hello, Erroneous, nice to see you, welcome to the stream. So we got, Erroneous and I, we were hanging out last night on Mr. Laggy's stream. He started playing Elite Dangerous, and yeah, we got one more recruit to Elite Dangerous. That was quite a lot of fun to watch him, wasn't it, Erroneous? To see him getting started with that game, and he managed to get over to the Liangri area quite successfully. I was really surprised. And Erroneous, over there, you guys say the cat's whiskers for something good. Yes, I've heard that one as well. The Mud's Nuts, I have not heard that one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Draco, it's just like you do mention it quite often, so I'm sure it must be annoying though. And you didn't get an advertisement, Do Jensen. So here is something I'm wondering. But no, I was going to say that I wonder if it's like a regional thing that Twitch has it set up that... Draco, you're in the States, right? I was wondering if maybe the States has it set up so that advertisements show more frequently. But then again, if you're not getting it when you go to other people's streams that you're subbed to, I don't know. And the parser, when you untame, the equipment doesn't fall off. Don't see why it matters which server. That's true. That is true, actually. That's very true. Yeah, not sure, Draco. So, how are you doing, by the way, Draco? Last night you were on Mr. Laggy's stream. You were asking, you said something like, "How are you doing?" But I wasn't sure whether you were asking me or whether you were asking Mr. Laggy, so I never responded to that one. I was assuming you were asking Mr. Laggy, but I meant to ask you how you have been doing because I know that you have these health issues, and then but at the same time, you have to go to work. So I hope you've been staying healthy and safe. And do you wear do you wear a mask when you go to work? And speaking of masks, guys, so this is now the 8th week of being self-isolating. Still haven't gone outside a single time in 8 weeks. But I'm gonna have to actually go to the pharmacy in probably around a couple of weeks from now, when my medications will be I'm gonna have to go get some more medications, and I need to also go and get some of that Panadol, like the paracetamol. Um, I have ibuprofen here at home, and that is the one that usually works for me. But of course, we've seen these mixed reports of the effects of that ibuprofen. Is that how you would say it? Like in Finnish, you would say ibuprofini. I'm not quite sure how to say it in English, but that's what usually works for me. So I have a whole bunch of that at home, but of course that is not, that could possibly be dangerous if you get COVID. And so you're supposed to, well, first France was reporting that they were reporting about this, and then WHO said that there are no there's no evidence to show that that is the case. And then WHO was sort of like going back and forth with that. I don't know what the latest opinion is on the ibuprofen versus paracetamol. Oh gosh, my pronunciation today, guys, is not the best. Anyhow, I don't know what the latest news is on that, but I wanted to go and buy a whole bunch of that paracetamol to be on the safe side. Because apparently, if you do get COVID, you're just going to need it so badly. So yeah, so I'm going to have to actually mosey out of this apartment in a couple of weeks. But yeah, coming back to the topic of masks. So we don't have any masks. When this whole thing started, I did not rush out to buy, masks, and we haven't sewn any masks, and I probably need to make myself one, but then it's this conflicting feeling, because apparently those homemade masks don't actually do anything at all to protect you, because the pathogens can get through the material, but it will just protect others if you have COVID without knowing that you do. And of course, the fact that we've been self-isolating here for 8 weeks means that we don't have it. But yeah, I don't know. Have you guys gotten yourselves masks? Are you using the cloth ones? Did you get the disposable ones? The more surgical type masks? Or what are you guys doing for masks? I'm curious to hear. Boom shakala. Put on some rouge or something. You must be scary white by now. I'm always scary white, boom shakala, by default. I don't really go out into the sun very much. I'm too freaked out about getting skin cancer, to be honest. And yeah, Draco, I'm doing well otherwise. We still haven't gone nuts here. Everything is normal here at home. We're going to get actually another grocery delivery, where I'm doing those every 3 weeks. We're going to get another one tomorrow. Ibuprofen. So that's how you would say it, parser. Pro, like professional. Ibuprofen. Oh, like professional. Gotcha. Boom shakala. No masks, but you're in Sweden, so totally different strategy here. They want me to catch it. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have a whole different system going on over there, and people are just sort of living their lives rather normally over there, aren't they? And hello, a box of photons. Welcome to the stream. You only use gloves. The masks are difficult to get a hold of in England. And you're using a bandana, says Draco. Suitman, hello. Welcome to the stream. You haven't done any masks, Suitman, or anything like that. You stick with distance and washing hands often. Yeah, Draco. I mean, the fact that you have to go to work. I just hope you're very, very careful out there. Yeah, I think I have no idea, to be honest. I really don't know what people are doing in Finland. Like, I mean, I can look out of my window, but I don't see any people walking around. But I have no idea, like, since we haven't been outside, I have no idea if you were to go to a shop or like a pharmacy, would most people be walking around with masks or not? And I'm sort of like wondering whether I should perhaps just sew some for me and my son, and washable ones. I was also looking on Amazon, and there's cloth ones and also the surgical type masks, but they actually the ones with the full protection, those are not even being sold to just normal people at all. It says so on the product that it's only sold to medical professionals, which is good. I mean, that's the way it should be. But yeah, not sure what I'll do. The parser, no, you were saying pro with a long O at first. Ah, then you changed to an pro, not pra. And hello there, ethnification. Welcome to the stream. Use a scarf for a makeshift mask or something similar, and gloves. Yeah, I mean, I tried on a bandana one day just to see like what that would feel like to breathe. It was really hard to breathe actually with that thing. It felt so claustrophobic. And the parser, you browsed Etsy for masks last night. So here's the thing, guys, that kind of freaks me out about the masks, okay? Especially the ones that are just like homemade. And also these ones that are being sold by people just who are not professional mask makers. So the thing that freaks me out is that if there is not sufficient ventilation for the travel of the CO2 to get out, you could be breathing back your own CO2, and that scares the hell out of me. So I just have to wonder about all of these shops that are like, that do handcrafts and sell these like self-made ones, whether or not they're really thinking or testing the amount of CO2 that is breathed back in. Hello, Pycan. Welcome back to the stream. Nice to see you. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Pycan. Everything's hunky-dory over at my place. And Du Jensen, I think I haven't actually checked what the current situation is in Finland, like as far as rules, but I think their recommendation is for everyone to keep on self-isolating. I mean, you can go to the shop and the pharmacy, but I think that the restaurants are closed. They're doing takeaway. I think most of the shops are closed, from what I know, that are not selling essentials. And at least most of my friends in Finland are still self-isolating. And Draco, you've been working since the epidemic started. You wear gloves and masks, and your work takes your temperature. Oh, thank you so much for the cheer, Jez. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you join back here. By the way, Jez, we got a new Elite Dangerous player last night. I think you liked my tweet about it. Mr. Laggy has started to play Elite Dangerous, and I was watching his stream last night, and it was so thrilling to watch him get started. And he bought his very first ship last night, and he traveled all the way over from the newbie area over to the no, how do you say it? No. What's the guy's name again? You know, the minus 15% area. So he traveled all the way over there, and he bought himself a Cobra. But yeah, we're back here in Wurm again today. I'm almost starting to think, Jazz, whether or not the Wurm streams I do every single Tuesday, I'm wondering if I should allocate a certain day for my elite streams, whether that would be a good idea or not. An erroneous, bluntly spoken friend of yours said homemade cotton masks don't work, just like cotton briefs don't stop a wet fart. Well, I mean, of course, what they do is that they're not going to protect you, the homemade ones, that is for sure. But what they do is that if you were carrying COVID yourself and then you go to sneeze, it will protect others. And it will also, even the breathing part, it will protect a little bit as well from your breath getting out. No, Boom Shakala, I've been reading articles about this, that some homemade masks have been made from some type of material. So that's why they recommend cotton, because it's breathable. But if somebody were to sew from a polyester, a tight, if you were to imagine, for instance, try and imagine, for instance, that material that a ski suit is made of. You know, this kind of polyester, very densely knit polyester material. I could very easily imagine that if you were to make a mask from something like that the amount of CO2 that would be trapped inside the mask if it was tight around your face, I could very easily imagining that happening, actually. So that's why they recommend the cotton. And NSA people here, 80 kilometers south from Helsinki, are from edge. So what country are you in, NSA? Are from edge to edge. Some use masks only when indoors, food stores. Some use them even when walking on the street. Some don't use any. You're the latter. You just pick the least active hours to do your grocery shopping. So far, you're alive. And Dude Jensen says, going to shop for groceries is just fine over there. Yes, Jez. We shall convert everyone to elite players, one person at a time, right? Hello, Viero, and welcome to the stream. And Viero is, of course, and by the way, I almost forgot. We changed the server, or crossed the server border rather. And then where are we going? Oh yes, we're going over here. So actually we're almost there. So let's just mosey on over in this direction. So I almost forgot. Let's do a little shout out for Jez. So Jez plays, oh, hold on. I think I have a spelling error there. Let's try this now. Jez is an elite dangerous player, and very, very friendly guy, and very, very lovely guy. And So yeah, a new friend found from Elite Dangerous, and so Jez, you were here last week when I was doing my Wurm Roulette stream. So not only are we gonna be converting everyone into Elite players, but maybe we'll also be converting everyone also into Wurm players. um, and I have to wonder, Jez, I have to wonder if you keep watching these Wurm streams, we might just convert you. And also Erroneous Gaming, let me do a shout out for you as well. So Erroneous is a long time Wurm player, and Erroneous, we have yet to see you do actually a Wurm stream. That would be cool, because it's no secret now, the cat is out of the bag, you revealed it yourself, but you are a very long time Wurm player. But you have been playing also Elite Dangerous all the way back from the 80s. So, yeah. What is your plan for that, Erroneous? Like, do you think that you'll ever stream Wurm? And if you do you make like a different Twitch account for that? Or what's your plan? And, yeah, I meant to ask Viero is whether you had seen my Wurm streams or not. Of course, you have been to my Elite streams, though. Parser says, breathing your own CO2, especially at that tiny amounts that doesn't happen to pass through the cloth of the mask, won't hurt you. I don't know, Parser, because I did see some articles about that could be dangerous, like some of these homemade masks. And boom shakala. That's a good point. On the positive side, if it won't pass CO2, it won't pass COVID-19 either. So either way, you're like sort of endangering yourself in a way. Okay, I'm gonna have to. The tracker has been working nicely because I took off my glasses to read those comments, but I'm gonna have to put them back on now, and this face rig is gonna get all muddled up again. Just to make sure we know where we're gonna land. Well, not land, but what is the term, guys, when you dock your ship? You're not landing your ship. Is it just docking? I was sure that there was some other term for it. And actually, hold on. Maybe, let's just look at that map again. Let's just look at that map again. So we need to actually find this bay over here. And there seems to be a little island. I wonder if that island over there is this one. Should we actually, let's do this, guys. Let's explore this entire area, including that island. So let's start off with the island. Now, I'm not sure if that island is this one, because this looks a little bit on the small side to be that one. It almost looks like it could be one that a player had used the Wand of Seas for. This doesn't look like that one. Are we on Celebration? Let me just double check here. Are we actually on Celebration? Yes, we are on Celebration, but now I'm kind of confused. So there, let me just open it here actually. So this island is probably this one, but what the heck is this one over here then? This almost looks like a Sea of Wands island. Does anyone happen to know whether this is a Sea of Wands island? So basically, for those who don't know, in Wurm Online you can create your own islands, either by dumping dirt down into the sea, or else by using a special wand that creates an island in the middle of the water. This looks very much like it could be a Sea of Wands island because it's about that size, the one that the wand creates, And it's also rather round, and of course it could have been terraformed that way, but I don't think this island is actually on the map at all, is it? This is probably somewhere out here. Let's just zoom in a bit. Somewhere around here, I would imagine. But let's go and have a look at it. Okay, there's a little bit of a dock over there. And I'm not even going to dock my ship. I'm just going to hop off. Or moor my ship, rather. Let's have a little look at this place. So what is this place called? Oh, and we actually have in the local Johnny Dowie and Miss Jonaris. The village of Isle of Serenity. So I wonder if this is Johnny Dowie's place. And just before we go forward, let me just quickly catch up with the chat here. Draco, yeah, COVID sure will go down in history books, won't it? Erroneous, you had a cotton breathable but waterproof car cover, so you guess that they're made in a similar way. And Jez says that scheduling and planning is a wonderful thing. If you ever want to do any elite stream work together, the community is great for it. I've noticed that, Jez. It certainly does seem to be that way. So NSA, the country is 80 kilometers south from Helsinki, so you should know that. So what is directly south from Helsinki, I think, is Estonia? I'm not sure if it's 80 kilometers though, but at least across the sea. And hello, Ankle Stab. You hit 120 and WoW on a character you started Thursday. What the heck? A character you started on Thursday, but you're not in Classic though. I mean, Classic, well, obviously not. It can't be in Classic because Classic doesn't even take you up to 120. 120 in a few days. That is nuts, Ankle Stab. That is insanity. So Draco asks, what happens when you go everywhere on the map? So Draco, do you mean like, can you clarify what you mean by that? Do you just, like if we look at the map, so you can freely explore every little bit of this. You can climb all of those mountains. If you go to the edge of the sea, you go over to other servers. And you have looked at Wurm, Jez. It does fascinate you. Good, good. If my little avatar here could rub her paws together and cackle, I would. Do Jensen, now you want to see a SnowRunner stream? Yeah, I've been watching the Nerd King playing that, and I don't know. Like, as much as I enjoy driving in the GTA games, I'm not sure if SnowRunner would be quite my thing. Till Wurm is from 212, says Viero. And Erroneous, you hadn't really thought of streaming Wurm. You should, though. I mean, you're a veteran of both of these games. And Jez, there are a lot of dangerous misinformation out there. Always be up to date with the official channels. Yes, that is very, very true. And so mooring would be the term. Instead of a plane landing, it would be a ship mooring. Okay. Mooring for boats, docking for spaceships. You have to prepare some food right now, Jez, but you will be back after dinner. I will absolutely be here still, Jez. You have a good dinner. And also Drake is going to go do some cooking. Yes, Isle of Serenity, Du Jensen. And Boat's Dock as well. So, now, let me just see. I'm just going to ask here, Johnny Dowie. Let me just check the name of this. Yes, Johnny Dowie, do you live on Isle of Serenity? So let's have a little snoop around. There seems to be a giant whale right there. Oh, hold on. And here is the owner, I guess, of this place. Look at that fancy, rare, like glowing outfit.
Hello.
So Johnny Dowie does live here. This is his alt. Mind if I have a little look around? And Johnny Dowie's name is so familiar. Now I'm just wondering, is it because Johnny Dowie has been on my stream or been watching Drongo's stream or the official stream, or the name is familiar perhaps from the Wurm forums? Very, very familiar. And we got the okay to have a little look around. Hello, Wu Wei, and hello, Johnny Dowie. Johnny Dowie, you have been to my streams, right? I'm trying to think about like why your name is so familiar. I'm sure you have been here before, haven't you? To my Wurm Roulette streams. Sometimes I get muddled up because, of course, there's my streams, and then there's Bloody Drongo streams, and then there's the official streams, and then you sort of get like confused, like where you've seen who, you know? But yeah, I think I've seen you here on my streams, haven't I? And so yeah, we were just so our target today, Johnny Dowie, is it is this upper like northwestern corner of Celebration, and many times you've been here, but you've just been lurking. Okay. That explains it for sure, Johnny Dowie, and I'm so sorry if like there has been like if my memory is not working so well. So a question to you, Johnny Dowie. So we were looking at the map here. So this is our target for today. And by the way, did I remember to take my a sign? I need to go get a sign from my boat, but we'll get that in a moment. So we were just traveling through here, and I was like, I saw this island and I was like, hold on. And I was looking at the map and I couldn't see this island here. Isn't it somewhere around in this spot? Now, is this a Wand of Seas island, or how have you created this island? Or have you dumped like dirt into the sea? But yeah, we'll have a little snoop around because it looked really cute from afar. So oh, there's your other character as well. Look at that fancy, that fancy rare. Is that dragon scale, or let's have a little peek here. So dragon or drake scale, either Rare red dragon scale. Oh my goodness. Fancy schmancy. So not only, so guys, for those who don't know, dragon scale armor is probably the most, would you say that it's the most valuable and most rare kind of armor that you can have in the game? And not only that, but it's also, you have like a full set, and in addition, it's all rare. That's so items can have like a rare quality in Wurm, where it has like a, does it actually give an added benefit, by the way, to the armor, like extra protection or anything like that, or is it just a visual? So it's a Wand of Sea island. I was thinking that it might be, because I was looking at the size of it, Johnny, that so did you get with a Wand of Sea, did you create it with the Wand of Sea, or did somebody else create it and then you claimed this island for yourself later on? There for the lava in the middle. And when you make an island with the Wand of the Seas, do you actually get any like rock? Oh, I see a little bit of like mist coming up. Hold on. Ooh, there is the lava. So you get some lava tiles in the middle. And we have to be very careful not to drop down, because I will start to immediately start to take damage. Now, wouldn't it be cool, guys, if the lava tiles in Wurm actually glowed? Let me just actually simulate them. I'm just gonna go into walk mode, and I'm gonna take a screenshot of that, and we're gonna just try and see what that might look like in Photoshop very, very quickly. So let's open up Photoshop and see how that might look if the lava tiles actually glowed, because that looks kind of like deflating, that they don't actually glow at all, and this kind of bothers me now. So let's just Kat's gonna do her Photoshop magic, and I should probably get that outline away. It's not very stylish. Okay, and then we're gonna take the lasso tool, put a little bit of feather on it. I'm just gonna select all of this. Like so, and that one as well. And then we're going to set this to add. And actually, hold on, let's do this. Put it into a smart object. And then we're going to make this one additive, and this one we're going to blur. Let's see. Like so. And actually, if I put that underneath, like so, outer glow. That's not working so well. Hold on. Add. And then this one. No, we're gonna have to just blur that a little bit more, I think. And then if we just put that in a mask and then we blur the mask, maybe that will work. Like so. There we go. And then, in addition, we're just gonna just raise the levels just slightly in the middle there. And then maybe even do a little bit of a color balance. Just emphasizing the red and the yellow here. Like so. Okay, now we're in business. So imagine if, so this is before. Let's just zoom in a bit. This is before how lava is now in Wurm. Now imagine if it actually glowed like lava. And I'm not sure how that would be. I mean, that is possible to do additive stuff in a game. I don't know whether Wurm uses additive, the sort of blending mode, additive blending mode. It uses at least multiply, so you would think that that should work, the additive as well. But wouldn't that be nice, guys, if like lava actually glowed? I should make a suggestion on the suggestion forums. I mean, of course, now I am helping out the Wurm team, the art team, and I guess I could just like suggest it like directly to those guys, but I don't know. It's sort of like, in a way, I sort of still feel like just like a normal player, because it's only a temporary thing anyhow. So yeah, but that's really cool that you have your own lava tiles here. Very, very cool. So is there actually, Johnny, is there anything like, is there any benefit to lava tiles in Wurm? Because the way Wurm works, of course, is that every single thing in the world, except the sky, basically, has some kind of practical use. So do lava tiles, can you like harvest anything from them? Can you possibly cook food on them or anything like that? Could you use them, for instance, as some kind of furnace? Could you put like a cauldron with some food and place that on a lava tile and actually have it like cook food, or to smelt like ore? Like this is a silly question, but I have to ask. So you and your friend created this island, Johnny. Nice, nice. Boom shakala. We have to be careful. Wanders of hair. Well, I was climbing, so it was okay. And Du Jensen, you're saying, oh, move away while being away from Wurm might be a good idea. Move away while being away from Wurm might be a good idea. I don't get it, Du Jensen. Yeah, it's not, NSA, it's, so to get that kind of glowy effect is actually a blending mode. And I'm not sure whether the game technically actually supports that kind of additive blending mode, because if I think about, like, I wonder about these lights, for instance. I guess since there are these lights, I'm wondering if that must be using some kind of blending mode to give it the glowy effect. I wonder if that's additive or if that's something else. So I guess with the lights, since that is using the glowy thing, I guess you could do it for lava, couldn't you? So maybe I will make a suggestion for that. Oh, it's a great for disposal of larger items, says the parser. One tile could be useful to get rid of junk, but you don't know of any other uses, says Johnny. I see. And boom shakala, they could just add the fire effect to lava and it would be done. Well, if we think about this kind of little effect here, certainly, let me see if I can just, let me see if I can find a spot where I could just grab that flame. I need to get it against some, like, I needed to get it against the sky so that I can sort of grab it in Photoshop. Let me just see. If I go over here, could I get that flame to be up against the sky very easily? Just so I can get that flame selected in a easy way. So let me just see what happens if I do this. This is going to be really rough and dirty, but actually, let me do this instead. Just going to see if I can make this work. And then put this to additive. And then just make a little blurry thing over here. And the mask. And then just scale that up a bit. So if we were to imagine the flame, the problem is that it's not enough to just add like flames. Because it would just be like a dark lava against the flames, right? Or like under the flames. But if we had the flames plus the glowy, well, even that kind of looks weird. Of course, some of these would have to be like smaller. They would have to be like animating at different. If we were if we were to imagine that these would be like animating, you know, not all looking the same size, maybe. Little spurts of fire could work, but I guess it would have to be much more distributed. Like these little here and there, it could work maybe, but yeah, it would have to have much more variation. But it's not as simple as just like plonking that fire effect onto the lava for sure. Du Jensen, oh, I see. Hold on. Oh, I got you, Du Jensen. Right. So I was, so before I forget, right. So I was like on the edge there, and then that I should have moved away before tabbing out. I gotcha, yeah. Well, it looks like I didn't drop in at least. Let's have a look at this oven here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that probably uses the additive so you can see the additive effect against the stone of the oven. So yeah, I guess the game must like then be supporting additive if that's the case. Yeah, we're talking about like a blending mode basically. So what I mean by that is, for instance, if I were to take this image, I mean, this is turning into a Photoshop thing now, but bear with me. So if I take, let's just take an orange circle like so, or like a square like so. Now, that's just an RGB value or a hex value, just a solid. But when you turn it, when you give it the additive blending mode, like so, so multiply is used in the game. Multiply is used to, when we're painting items in Wurm, it's a multiply blending effect that is going onto the item. Because otherwise, if you were to paint things just with normal, it would look like this when you would paint stuff in Wurm, but it's actually using multiply. But then for things like the fire, you would have like an additive blending mode. And that's how you get this effect that you see here in the fire. So it must be supporting. You see how like I move it around the screen? You can still see the details underneath, right? So yeah, I think it must be supporting additive. So actually making something like this should work. It should work. Maybe I will suggest that. Anyhow, let's get back to, let's see, example with both lit and not lit. Yes. Oh, and it's even casting like a color onto the, it's even casting like this orange color onto the stone. I have never noticed that. That's pretty cool, actually. Huh. Okay, anyhow, that's let's have a little look around, and that's a very cool statue, by the way. Look at that, painted black. And what statue is this, by the way? The Cyclops statue, rare statue, and painted black, I'm assuming. Let's have a look. Examine. Yes, it is painted. Looks very cool, man. And so Johnny Dowie's little workshop here. For all the smelting. I think those are smelters, aren't they? Yes, they are smelters. And Johnny, you have a bison in here. Is it waiting to be slaughtered? Were you aware that you have a bison in here? Parser. No, more graphical artist masterclass. And NSA says, you're sure that some better effect could be done? Look at water, for example, very near perfection and realish, but we don't have that much lava in Wurm, so it wouldn't be. That's a good point, NSA, that since it doesn't actually, you don't see it that often, like then the prioritization shouldn't be very high. I do agree there, for sure. And look at this, by the way. Here's also the same case, like a chair that has been dyed black, and it's also, you have a lot of rare stuff over here, Johnny Dowie. Man, I don't have that many rare items myself, but I guess you get the rare from just keeping on like improving, and that's kind of interesting, by the way. So Johnny Dowie, have you you've got this like upper part here, is that intentional? Like, have you broken down the wall until it went into this sort of like to give it a rustic look? You've sort of, have you broken like the wall until it became like this mossy version, or is that did that happen completely by mistake? Hello Puddlefoot, welcome to the stream. Oh, you don't have anywhere to hitch it, so it has to be in the house for now, Johnny. Oh my goodness. This is a very cozy little stable you have here. I guess this is actually a home, isn't it? You've actually gone to the trouble of got some money going on over there. Oh, nice. I love how you put that backpack onto the shelf, and it looks really nice there, actually. Just a little place to rest up here. You got the whatchamacallits, the planters going on over here. Very cozy little place you got here. Oh, we're gonna have to be careful. Oh, you have like a villager here, Johnny. I see. And I see you have like, by the way, Johnny, do you need enchantment at all? I could do one enchantment a day, and I haven't used mine. If you want me to enchant one of your grass tiles, just let me know. I could do that before I go. So you have 4 people living here. Wow. Good for you. You know, guys, I've never lived with anyone in Wurm. I've always just been living on my own. Oh, we didn't actually... Oh, we did look inside here. We did, yes. Friendly Kitten, you made it! Welcome, welcome. So, Friendly Kitten, you are like an actual Grandmaster Chef in real life. So what have you been cooking today? So NSA asks, if you die on lava, does your corpse burn up with all your items? You need a volunteer. You're good with the grass? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll continue on my way now, but thank you for letting me have a little snoop around. You have a nice little spot here. Looks very, very cozy, and that's really sweet to hear that you have some actual villagers as well. Are they, Johnny, are they new players, or are they just your friends that you're living with here? And as tired as you are, Friendly Kitten, you managed to make a sausage casserole with mushrooms and going to boil pasta and then mix it all up and cook in the oven with cheese on top. Oh my goodness. That sounds absolutely delicious. Delicious, delicious. So, unfortunately it's nighttime, so it's not the best time to go exploring. But so here's what we're doing today, Friendly Kitten and anyone else who has just arrived to the stream. We are here exploring yet again an area that we've never been to, and today we're exploring this entire upper, so the marker landed here, and we're exploring this entire upper left corner of the celebration map. And now, before I forget, I need to grab that sign. I have one sign left, and I'm going to have to make more of them for the next streams. Hello, Tough Love. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you back. And Tough Love, remind me now, like, I think you were on my last Elite Dangerous stream, right? But have you ever been to my Wurm streams? And Puddlefoot, you missed last week's stream. You were actually working like you're supposed to. Today you're allowing distractions while working. That's the spirit, Puddlefoot. That's the spirit. And they're old friends that you're living with. That sounds lovely, Johnny. I could imagine doing that, actually. Like, I'm not so sure if I would ever want to have it set up with new villagers who have just, I don't know. But at least, like, living with friends, that could work for sure. Erroneous says, yes, if you die on lava, your items decay within a few seconds. Oh my goodness. So you don't have time to go back and save them. Oh. So that's super dangerous, actually, to die on a lava tile. I wasn't aware of that. If someone is with you, they might have time, but they will be badly damaged. Oh my gosh. So, Johnny, you need to have a little, like, fence around your lava pits there in the middle. And ankle stab. Meanwhile, you threw a grandiosa Hawaii pizza in the oven with some K-Market pepperoni slices on top. So ankle stab is talking about a frozen pizza that you can buy those here in Finland. These grandiosa labeled ones. And Tough Love, your chicken soup was homemade. Nice. Hello, Bloody Drongo. Welcome to the stream. And I have like a shout out just waiting here for me to copy paste it. I was all prepared just in case you come over, Bloody Drongo. Look at this. Look at this. Here it is. I had this note already in case you do come. Now you're supposed to be very you should be very chuffed by that. So Bloody Drongo, of course, the legend, is another Wurm streamer, Sandbox gamer, RimWorld player, and all-around ace guy. One of my favorite streamers, and he does his Wurm streams on Wednesdays, by the way. So tomorrow is going to be Bloody Drongo's Wurm Wednesday, and he has a whole bunch of like usually. Bloody Drongo's streams are so interesting because he's a lot of the times like showing things that people have never seen before. I think Retro and you sort of set it up once in a while that you show little previews of things. You also have like a newbie village going on where Friendly Kitten lives on your land, and you show the progress of that. Of course, you also have the build battle. What was it called? No, build a battle. I think that was it. What it was called. You're gonna be doing that at some point when you have more time, where players can come and do. You're gonna have these competitions where players have to quickly build something. What was it? Within a few hours, I think. And they're given like different rules each time. Like now you have to build something on a certain theme. What is the situation, by the way, with that, Drongo? I guess you're still pretty busy right now. So has that gone forward at all? I'm sure a lot of people are really looking forward to that, though. You do have the deed already set up, and I think you did quite a bit of terraforming to it as well, I think. Hello there, Big Oris. Welcome to the stream. Drool, you are all making me hungry. And Pycon, you missed my ED stream last night. Pycon, I didn't actually stream ED last night. That would have been Mr. Laggy who was streaming, and I just advertised his stream because he has just started playing Elite Dangerous. So, but yeah, it was really interesting seeing him getting started in the game. And NSA gnaws on yesterday's half-dried sandwich. You guess it still works. Ugh, that sounds, well, I won't say anything, NSA. Oh, hold on. Looks like sometimes I click the wrong scene there. So what we're looking at here, I believe we are now possibly on this island, I think. So for those just arriving, we are exploring the northwestern corner of Celebration today. Erroneous. The man, the machine, the emo. Absolutely. Parser's Drongo stud in a house. Oh my gosh. Parser Drongo shows things people have never seen before. Yes, like wearing the worm thong. So what is this place? This seems to be locked up at least. Is this actually deeded? This is a part of the lands of Wurm, but I really like actually how they have... Oh, I was like, what the heck is going on? Isn't this cool, guys? Like how they have the houses on either side, and then they have this space in the middle with a guard tower tilted 45 degrees. I think that looks really cool, actually. I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of that. Just to keep as an idea for the future. It looks kind of cool. And an update coming next week, hopefully, Bloody Drongo, on the Build-A-Battle. Awesome. That's awesome. You know what I should have done, guys? I should have grabbed my horse. We're gonna have to get the horse outfitted anyhow, and this is kind of like a good spot to do that. I don't see any bad guys around. There's guards around if need be. So let's just do that. Oh, do you mean the... Do Jensen, the mission thingamajig, the glowy thing? Should I have picked that up? Maybe I should have. And this is free land, isn't it? Yes. Hello, Wolfmare. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. NSA. Not saying anything. The quiet judgment, the worst of judgments. And Parser asks whether my eyes have recovered from seeing the old Wurm graphics. So, Retrograde was it yesterday, the Wurm stream, or the day before? I can't even keep track now. But the official Wurm stream, so Retrograde, the community manager, was showing some old screenshots. He was using Wayback Machine to go back and look at old versions of the Wurm Online com website, and we were looking at old screenshots of the game, and actually, to be honest, Parser, some of the stuff in those screenshots wasn't half bad. I mean, the characters looked crappy, the items looked crappy, but some of the sky and the water stuff wasn't too bad, actually. It seems like over the years, like some things that were kind of okay-ish before have gone downhill, while other things have improved. So I'm not quite sure why they made the sky and the lighting kind of worse than what it was before back in... Oh, we're gonna have to go... Yeah, it's over there. Beautiful opals? Yes, we'll go pick it up. I just don't know what to do with it, though. And now we're gonna have to tame this horsey. Horsey. And let's get that staff off so I don't start whacking it around. And Tough Love, and so Tough Love, no, my Elite stream was the first that you had watched. Well, I'm very glad that you came and watched this Wurm stream, Tough Love. So, have you ever even heard of Wurm yourself? And the side buildings on top don't have roofs. Yes. Did you mean these ones? I think those ones do have roofs. Or, like, do you mean over here? Yeah, it's using parapets on the sides there. So, the horse is tamed, so now we can look at getting the saddle and everything on. Because, yeah, Tough Love Bunny, if you don't know anything about Wurm Online, I would be very happy to explain. Putting these horseshoes onto the horse, saddle, bridle, and now the horse is good to go. And what we need to do quickly first, however, is to untame it so that the monsters don't actually come and attack it. There we go. Good. And let's just grab this horse and go and have a little ride around. Unfortunately, it's just so dark right now that it's not the best time of day to be actually like looking around, but what can you do? Parser Worm Thong, the thong, absolutely. Oh, it's not the current mission, this one. I really need to look into this mission stuff. I still haven't gotten around to doing that in Wurm. You missed the question bag, says Erroneous. The question mark bag. Parser. Did I gag? So what do we have over here? I see some habitation. Oh, hold on. There's like a big grand place up there, actually. And lots of monsters. I wonder if there's a guard tower around here. Let me just see. Guards from the guard tower runs to the rescue. Okay, good. And this seems like a very... There goes the guard running away to go and kill this. What's actually... Oh, it's an old troll. Well, it's a pretty small one. Oh, I need to get my staff equipped again. There we go. And here comes the guard to help out. It looks like Kitschy's Deed says, Blake. Hello, Blake. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've ever been to Kitschy's Deed, actually. But yeah, I've been watching Kitschy's time-lapse videos. They are very cool indeed. And actually, Bloody Drongo always shows them on his stream, so I don't think I will show those here. But and is Kitschy on the Ven page? Let me just have a look here. Whether she is there. Kitschy is not here. Oh, there she is. There. So that link that I just shared, you can go to this page and that will be some of the other like Wurmian streamers and content creators. And Kitschy's link to her YouTube videos are on this page, and you can check out the really cool like time lapse she's done. It's really cool to see someone sort of dedicate towards that particular type of worm video. Everyone sort of is doing their own little thing, and that seems to be Kitschy's like niche to do these time lapses. So it's really cool somebody is doing those. And by the way, this is the first time for me to see what foals of a hell horse look like. I have never seen baby hell horses in my entire life. So they're basically just miniature versions of the adult horses. They don't really look like foals like the normal horses do. It would be kind of cool if they made like proper foal versions. So mission, find glowy thing, sacrifice it, done. Oh, is it that simple, Parser? Oh, I should totally be doing that then. And those items add 0.2 to enchant bonus when sacrificed. Huh. And NSA says the baby hellhorse looks more lava-y than the lava itself. That's true, that's true. Oh, could this actually be Kitschy's deed then? Does Kitschy live on Celebration? So let's see what this place is called. How come my... Oh, it's like lag. That's weird. So this place is called the Village of Tranquility Bay. Is that Kitschy's place? I would have no idea. Oh, is Celebration having to... So Celebration was moved to the... What was it? The AWS servers recently? And wasn't that supposed to improve things? Has it been better or worse now? So it is Kitschy's deed, is it? Oh, that is crazy, guys. That's crazy coincidence then. Huh. So Kitschy owns this entire, like, I'm guessing this island is then... Is it this entire... I guess we're over here right now, aren't we? I would assume we are. I had no idea. This is where Kitschy lives. So now that we're actually on Kitschy's deed, let me just give the proper like link. And oh, okay, hold on. Hello, Yiserone. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, in those videos, Kitschy has been building the different like houses on this deed, and you sort of can see the time lapse of those being constructed and how many materials, how much time it took. So now that we're here, we should, this is just totally a fluke thing. I had no idea that this is where Kitschy lives actually. So let's have a proper look around. And I wonder if the doors are open. They are, but of course with my horse, I can't really go upstairs without losing my horse, so we'll just go on horseback. There's Kitschy's little smithing spot and a little nook for doing some crafting and alchemy. And celebration lag is worse than Xanadu lag. I would have never imagined, Du Jensen, that I would ever hear those words uttered. Seriously. How is it possible that celebration could have worse lag? And that's quite nice. I quite like this solution for having your cart using the T walls to have a little shelter for it. Oh, are we in the same place? I'm not. No, this is a different end. So that's like the little smithing spot. Let's go and have a look at this house over here. Let's just ring this bell and see if Kitschy is home somewhere. Although I don't see anyone in local, but you could use this as a doorbell. There we go. Is anyone else bothered by the fact that the bell starts ringing at a delay? I wish it would start ringing as it's done its first swing. And by the way, speaking of weird sound effects, isn't it weird that new a chest opening sound that we have in the game now? I don't even know what happened there, why we have that new sound. I think I'm trying to remember, did the chest have an opening sound before at all? It did, didn't it? I wonder why it was changed. Hard computer science problem. Let's go see what's up here. And it's not so often that you, by the way, that you see, or is this just normal stone? Or is that rounded stone? Rounded stone, yeah. It's not often you see rounded stone fences, by the way. And it looks like Kitschy really likes the rounded stone in general. Lots and lots of grapes up here. So it looks like maybe Kitschy likes to make some wine. And is this on deeded land, or is that perimeter of Tranquility Bay? Okay, so I was looking at this decaying wall here and wondering why it's decaying, but it seems that this is not even on deeded land, so it's on the perimeter. That's why it's decaying away. Now I have to wonder if that's built by Kitschy or whether it is somebody who's just set up shop there, set up a little house over there. Maybe a new player or something like that they've allowed to build a house there. I'm not sure. Let's see what's over here. And you know what? My ship. I think my ship is safe, isn't it? Even though I didn't moor it. I thought that I would have to get back on my ship to get over to the other side. Hold on, I swear I saw... there is a bridge over there, yes. But I didn't moor my ship, but it's gonna stay in one place, isn't it, guys? It's not gonna float off, is it? Just wondering if I should go and moor it quickly or not. I think it is over here, isn't it? Oh, they restored the chest sound back to the old one. Well, that's good then, because it was a little bit strange. I'm not gonna lie. I think... Oh, there it is. Yes, yes. Thank goodness for the highlights that you can highlight stuff right through. Maybe we'll just grab my my ship and we'll just sail on over to the other side and just lead the horse in the water. Oh my goodness, what? What? What is that? Is that like a GM? Or is that like the actual god? Like, mature avatar of Libella. So, these gods like randomly start walking around sometimes, don't they? Now, it's not very often to see them actually. Mature avatar of Libella. Does anyone know what happens if you try, like, not that I'm gonna try and attack this, I'm just curious, like, what happens if you do? That's quite impressive looking. I mean, looking at this, guys, don't you wish... Oh, look, guys, a skirt. Don't you wish that we could have that skirt model for female players, and in general, like this top for female players would be so nice. You know, that sort of actually looks feminine. Oh, and see, look, the skirt is actually like, it's not even, I always assumed that skirts and dresses are not in the game because it's like, it's always a little bit challenging to get it to work with the animations, but that seemed to work just fine. Why can't we have skirts like that for female players or for somebody who has a female character? And that top is so nice. Probably part of a mission, says Boom Shakala. You found the Dark Queen, says NSA. And Parser, you're far more bothered by the ting 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 when creating a crate versus proper bang 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 when adding planks. Oh, I haven't noticed that difference, Parser. A group of players can kill them, but all you get is a couple of Valray items. I see. Different kind of mission, bring things to Avatar, done. So we have this thing that we picked up. Let's see if if she will actually do something with it. Feed. The mature avatar of Libella does not seem interested in food right now. Well, at least she did not want, there's not any option to give that to her, but I guess this was just for sacrificing, right? So what if I try and give her some mixed grass? Can I tame her with some mixed grass? Feed? No, she's not. Would she be interested in my meat meal? Feed? No, she doesn't even want my tasty meat meal. What is up with that? So lovingly prepared. Is there anything I can do? Let's just examine her. So it says, this terrifying female apparition has something disturbing over it, as if it's just one facet of Libella. She is very well defined. Yeah, can I care for her? It makes no sense caring for the mature avatar of Libella. Okay. Well, I'm not going to try and attack her, but I'm sure like new players like wonder what you're supposed to do when you encounter one of those. But that skirt, guys. Should we get actually a screenshot of that skirt? I mean, I'm seeing now that there's no excuse why we shouldn't be able to have skirts and dresses in this game. I'm having a little bit of a problem with my mouse, guys, because you know what happened to my mouse? It literally snapped into the left button. Let me just take a screenshot of this. So the mouse model that I have is, let me just show you guys. Razer Abyssus 214. And so what it actually has is that it doesn't actually have a physical. Here's a good image. Just bring that into Photoshop. And just lighten this a little bit. So, as you can see, it doesn't have like a physical button. Instead, this left and right part, they're just like, it's all one piece, and it just bends a little bit. And so this part snapped. Pretty much something like this. Snapped around this spot here. And I swear, guys, like, it just happened suddenly. Like, I was away from my computer. I went back to my computer. I was about to pick up my mouse, and I'm wondering, like, what the hell? There's like a piece of plastic. Like, at first I just thought it's like a physical part that just dislodged, but it actually, the plastic, like, snapped and broke. And it didn't happen even, like, from any provocation. It was so mysterious. Like, it wasn't this kind of situation where I was like really, really pressing it hard in, you know, a certain situation, then it would have snapped from that. Instead, it was just snapped when I came back to my computer, and I was like, what the actual hell? So I have ordered a new mouse, and it's a real shame because actually I've been really liking this mouse. It really fits nicely into my hand. I really like the mouse wheel. It's yeah, I really liked it. So actually what I did was I ordered another similar mouse from Razer, and I'm just hoping it's a fluke thing. But I did find a discussion about this snapping in half thing on the forums. So I'm not the only one that has happened to, but it was really, really weird that it didn't happen like in a certain scenario. It must have just been taking like it must have been like starting to like split over time, and then there just must have been like one small last moment where it just finally just snapped in two. I don't understand. It's very freaky though. Boom shakala. She would have needed some grapes. Well, actually, there would have been all those grape bushes over there. I should totally have tried some grapes on her. That would be kind of cool if the game had something like that hidden, like a little Easter egg that you couldn't feed a god anything else except grapes, and then it would give you some kind of nice little message like, you know, Libela appreciates the tasty little snack or something like that. So I think, is this like free land now? This is within the perimeter. But perimeter is fine, so let's just moor the boat here. And I think we'll go by foot from this spot on. And parser. Cat got physical with the mouse. Oh, the irony. The ghost of Commander Jameson did it, says Erroneous. Well, apparently so. Has been haunting me ever since Elite. So, what do we have over here? And it seems to be locked, unfortunately, but what's this place called? The village of TSP. I wonder what that stands for. But yeah, there's not much we can do since that is all locked up, so we'll just mosey on over. And so what we have to find, if we're going to start off by searching for the oh, you know what, by the way? Let's just have a look at the map here. So, I just noticed this mountain here and I was like, hold on. You know where I think we might be? Okay, so there's Kitschy's Island, which would be over there. I have a feeling that we are in this little bay right there, and that this mountain is basically this. And so that would mean there's supposed to be a small pond over here somewhere. Let's go and see, unless it's been terraformed away. I'm curious to see, but that means that we should be... Oh, here it is. Yes. Here is a small pond. But it has been very much terraformed by man over time, so it doesn't have the lovely little original shape that the original pond probably had, which is of course a shame, because I'm sure it was a very lovely little spot back when the server was first created. Hello there, Schmoopler, welcome to the stream. Is this a new game I am trying out? No, Schmoopler. So this is Wurm. First of all, the game itself, Wurm Online, it is a very old game. It was first released to the public in 2006. It's going to turn 15 years next year. And this is the one MMO that I can't let go of. It is the one MMO that keeps me coming back and keeps me engaged. I've been playing this for 6.5 years now, and Schmoopler, so I actually stream Wurm every single Tuesday. We go in and explore a place of the world that I've never been to. So let me just for you, Schmoopler, and for anyone else, while we kill off this lava fiend, let's just have a look at the map. So every single Tuesday, what I do is so these are all the PvE servers of Wurm Online. And all servers, unlike most other MMOs where the servers are like identical copies of one another, these are all completely different looking. And you can travel between the servers. So I've just bunched their maps together. I've squished them together for the purpose of this thing where I choose, I pick the destination and then it lands a marker on some random spot. So I do that every Tuesday, and every single blue dot that you see here, these blue circles, those represent spots that we have been visiting over the past months. Every Tuesday we do this. And I myself live on the server called Xanadu, and today we have sailed over to Celebration. So if I didn't already mention it, you can visit other servers by simply sailing over with your ship. And we have sailed over to Celebration today, and now we're exploring this area because this has not been explored yet by me. And after this stream, we're going to put another blue circle right on this spot here. So do you know anything about Wurm, Schmoopler? And have you played Sandbox MMOs yourself? I know, Parser. Well, that's what the situation was, except I was telling my son that. I was saying, look at this. My mouse just fell apart. So, should we butcher this guy? Maybe we should. Oh, you're too far away. Absolutely, Schmoopler. See, the thing is that the world, the servers are so gigantic, especially Xanadu, the one I live on. So, for instance, if you were to sail with your ship around the entire server, It would easily take a day, a full day to do that. And also there is like wind direction in the game. So if you happen to have a very bad luck with the wind pushing against the sails, you would actually go very, very slow. Like for you to sail from, say, this spot to this spot, if the wind is pushing against you, that would take hours and hours and hours. So, so yeah, to after all these years, like literally all of this stuff that doesn't have blue on it, I have never seen before. And you know what's really cool, Schmoobler, is that the world changes constantly because players can terraform and change the shape of the land. So for instance, this road I'm on, players have terraformed the land. They flattened it. You see how it's been flattened? I mean, that rock probably used to be sloped like this part is. And this has clearly been terraformed by players as well. Whereas here you can see a more natural slope, right? And so they can change the shapes of the land. So as time goes by, even if I were to visit like places I've never, or places that I visited last, like say a year ago, they could look completely different now. So you haven't heard of this one. In terms of sandbox MMOs, you've played EVE Online for 9 years. Well, there you go, Schmoobler. You're a sandbox player like myself then, and this is very, very sandboxy. And of course, I have played a little bit of EVE Online, and what I think there are some similarities. Actually, I felt a similarity to Ultima Online for some reason when I was playing EVE. And this game was way ahead of its time. Well, here's a thing, Schmoobler, actually. So, you know about Minecraft, of course, right? Have you played any Minecraft yourself? So we're just gonna grab this lava flint, and we're gonna grab the charcoal. And I think, as far as the rest of this lava fiend, I think I'm just gonna bury the rest of it, and we'll see if we make a little bit of money doing so. And also, Schmoobler, did you ever play Ultima Online back in the day? You played a little bit of Minecraft, but you never got into it very much. Okay, because you're going to understand the relevance of that in a moment. And there's actually a tortoise shell, but I keep on picking them up and I never do anything with them. So maybe we'll just leave it alone. Let's go and see what's over here. There's another one over there. What the heck? No, that's an actual tortoise. There's the tortoise shell, but there is a living tortoise over there. Huh. We'll just leave him alone. Let him be in peace. I see some kind of building over here. What do we have over here? So the relevance of Minecraft is when you were saying that this game is ahead of its time. So you know how in Minecraft you can terraform and change, I guess, like I haven't played very much Minecraft, but apparently, oh, this is the same place we peeked into from that side. Okay, it's also locked, so the player has locked their doors. But Minecraft, the reason I ask about that is because you probably are aware that Minecraft was created by Notch, who was a Swedish guy, or is a Swedish guy rather. So back in the day, before Notch made Minecraft, he and his good friend Rolf, they were making a game together, and that game was a sandbox MMO. And that was this game, Wurm Online. And then eventually Notch kind of wanted to take the game into a little bit of a different direction, and they sort of they didn't see eye to eye on that, I guess. So Notch decided to leave the Wurm Online team and go off, and he started to work on Minecraft. Whereas Rolf stayed behind and he kept on developing this game. So this will actually have a lot of similarities to Minecraft in regards to the freedoms that players have. But unlike Minecraft, it is an actual MMO that could potentially have, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of players at the same time. Now, it is a small community. It is a very, very small development team, but it's a very active one. Both community-wise and also the development team are very active and very devoted to the game. So, even though it's such an old game, it's still so active that we get like new updates all the time. Like monthly, we get something new. And actually, this is going to be launching. So it's had its own launcher up till now, but it's going to be launching. It's an additional launcher on Steam. So it's coming to Steam sometime this year. And on Steam, you will actually already find Wurm Unlimited, which is the standalone version where players can create their very own servers, and if they have the skills, like the coding, the art skills, they can do huge changes to their servers and change the balance, change the graphics, add like additional features and stuff. So that's Wurm Unlimited, whereas Wurm Online is the MMO version, the original. You didn't really have a PC or internet connection capable of playing Ultima Online back in the day. It looked awesome though. Yeah, so the reason I asked about Ultima Online is simply because this game is very much like a hybrid between Ultima Online and Minecraft. There are a lot of similarities to both games, and that's why I asked. Okay, let's go around this way. There seems to be a road, but... So everything, by the way, Schmoobler, that you see in the game, so all the roads, the guard towers, the buildings, the fences, anything that looks man-made is made by players. So the server, when it first... or the servers, rather, there's several servers. When they first were born, they were completely just wilderness. So if you see this wonky road here that looks crappy, that is because somebody just decided to come and like lay down some wooden planks and it looks like crap. Basically, so it wasn't very well done. But then you will also see very nicely done roads as well in places. And here's a little house. I do believe this sort of looks like a new player has just started playing there and set up a little house over there. Yeah, no problem. And so you might be wondering, Schmoopler, like what you can do in the game. So Wurm has all of the sort of elements that you would expect from an MMO, a medievally themed MMO. So, you got all the fighting and the crafting and the smithing and the tailoring and all that good stuff. But in addition, you can also... Well, you can own land, and you can do anything you want on your land. You can build, of course, build as many buildings as you like. There's no issue with inventory in this game. It's limitless inventory, actually. Look at all these. Oh, I wonder if there was a rift over. Oh, what? Is this one of these mini rift things? Is there some bad guys over here? But anytime we've tried to kill those, I haven't done very well. And oh, there's one of those rift trees. Huh. Yeah, there's definitely some rifty stuff going on over here, like one of those mini rifts. But I can't manage against those alone, so I'm not even gonna go over there. But so you might be wondering, what can you do on your land? Well, you can plant forests, you can plant crops, you can have animals that you breed, livestock, other animals as well. You can create your own zoo if you like. You can also build ships and do just a multitude of different things in the game. We're gonna have to. So for instance, this horse that I'm riding right now, this is a horse that I bred myself. And since the animals have like, oh, it's a crocodile. Since the animals have traits, we're gonna have to, hold on. Since I don't have any stamina whatsoever, we're gonna have to escape a little bit and go back. Because my stamina is completely ended over here. So we're going to have to rest just very quickly and then we'll go. Well, actually, I guess we don't have to go back there. A rift camp, says Johnny Dowie. NSA startles up from brain snooze. Yes, we're active all day, every day. Digging, mining, chopping, spying. And Timoka, you didn't know that we had rift camps. Yeah, to be honest, Timoka, and hello, by the way. Welcome to the stream. And look at that, by the way. Doesn't that look very cool? Jackal looks very, very cool right now. Just take a screenshot of that. Love how the clouds are sort of like caressing Jackal right now. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Timoka, so I didn't actually even know about those rift camps until we encountered one during a stream one time, and then people were telling me, so I think it's only about a year that I've known about those myself. Oh, so they're only about a year old anyhow, says Johnny. I see, I see. And you're guessing that we don't get those in the south of Xanadu, Timoka? Yeah, I guess not. I certainly haven't bumped into one. And this looks kind of like this is like a newbie village. So somebody, when I was saying that you can own land, so it almost looks like somebody has claimed a bit of land and then they have put these little plots for new players to set up their own little houses in. It looks very much like that. Let's see what this place is called. You see a part of the lands of Wurm, so I wonder if this is an abandoned deed. It looks like it's let's go see what's under here. Looks abandoned. So you can mine into the mountains, by the way. And you can actually build houses underground as well. If you want to have like a whole like dwarven kingdom underground. That's really, really cool about Wurm. Okay, no, not much to see. Oh, I hope I don't get lost in here. There. So, if this is all abandoned, that means that all of this stuff is up for grabs. I wonder if there's anything inside. It clearly doesn't... It looks like nobody is living here anymore. 2 red mushrooms. Is there anything in here? Nothing of interest. Nope. But here is an example actually of a road that's nicely done. This is very nice looking actually, this road. I don't know what it is about it. Is it the choice of the trees? Is it the lamps in the middle? Is it the fact that the tiles sort of go in this sort of zigzag fashion? It looks very nice actually. And I should start turning towards the south because I think we're just going, I mean towards the north. I think we're just going, are we going? Yeah, we're going south. So right now I'm guessing that we're probably actually here somewhere, to be honest. I should definitely start going back. See if this one actually leads us towards the north. Yes. Yeah, the forest did look especially lush, didn't it? I wonder if I should just start heading north. So our target for today is this little red marker here. And I think that what I might have done is did I come along here actually? Gosh. So the thing about the Wurm map is the fact that it doesn't actually show you where you are on the map. So you have to just use the landscape as a guide. If you see a mountain, if you see a lake, and then guess your location based on that. But of course here in the middle of a forest, it's a bit hard to estimate where we might be right now. It's very easy to get actually like lost in this game. Hello, Just Call Me Dots. Welcome to the stream. We are exploring the server of Celebration today. And I'm kind of lost right now, to be honest, which can sometimes be a really can sometimes be a really fun thing actually in Wurm when you get lost. And then you sort of end up finding areas that you didn't even know existed. It's quite nice to see, like considering what an old server Celebration is, it's quite nice to see that there's so much like just wilderness here that hasn't been touched yet by the players. I mean, all this wild forest is quite surprising. I mean, you would imagine, for instance, if you go to the server of Independence, a lot of it will be terraformed by players. What's that over there? Birchwood Bear Cave. So there's like bears like spawning in this area. So you play similar games, Just Call Me Dots. You play Life is Feudal. Yes, I have watched Life is Feudal. The graphics of Life is Feudal is very nice. From what I understand, Just Call Me Dots, Life is Feudal was sort of inspired by Wurm Online, this game. So if I have understood correctly, the people who created Life is Feudal were old Wurm Online players actually. So they played this game and they wanted to make kind of like a similar type of game, and then they made Life is Feudal. Just called you Dots? Sure thing. Sure thing. So how long have you been playing Life is Feudal? And that one is full PvP, isn't it? So Wurm has PvE and PvP servers. I play on the PvE servers, or server rather. And look at all this moss. You don't very often see a whole area just full of moss like that. Oh, so do they also have like PvE and PvP servers in Life is Feudal? I thought it was just like all PvP over there. Like, not that I don't know very much. I've just like seen screenshots and some like trailers and stuff of Life is Feudal. Oh, they have both. Huh. I wonder if I should give that a little bit of a whirl sometime on stream, just to see what it, because it is a game that I've sort of had my eye on for a long time, but I just heard from so many players when that had played it who said that it was like a subpar version of Wurm, that Wurm is much more deep, and then I just thought to myself, well, maybe I'm not going to bother after all if it doesn't offer as deep of an experience as Wurm does anyhow. So this mountain, we got around the mountain, which I believe is this thing, and now we're entering this sandy area. So we can see from the map that we're in the correct area now. And we have to find this lake. So I wonder if I should just keep on going, maybe I'll just keep on going in this diagonal direction. Oh, this is very grindy as well, Dots. And Pycan, have I tried Arc Evolved? I actually have Arc. I'm not sure if it's... Let's just see on Steam what version of Arc I do have. Arc Survival Evolved. I guess that's the one. So I have never actually installed it, guys. We should probably do a stream with me playing this sometime. I've never tried it. I've owned it now for years. I bought it on sale one time. I should give it a go sometime, shouldn't I? So Timoka says that Life is Feudal is not as grindy as Wurm. We don't have our skill points locked at a certain amount. And Dot says, your island you got on this game is easy peasy next to this game. Not quite sure what you meant. Oh, hold on, there is... I think we can see that lake that we're looking for. Pycan says, sorry, I guess you're referring to Arc, Pycan? Yes, that you're saying that it is pretty good. Huh. So Pycan, tell me something. When you go to play Arc, so that is not an MMO, right? That is like, sort of like, you have to have, there are like player-run servers there, right? Is there like a server run by the Arc team itself that you can like go to play on, or do you have to have like a friend who has a server, or how does that work? Do you have to make your own server? How does that work? NSA, you remember the moss almost died there once because you had the slowest horse possible, and for some reason you attracted about 7 crocodiles. Unfortunately, your friend was even slower, if you know what that means. Oh, they ate your friend then. Oh no. Yeah, getting on those tiles that are slow can be so deadly. So we found the little lake, guys. We found it, and what a beautiful little lake it is too. Look at that. Very pretty. So if we look at the map, I have to plant my sign at the very north end of the lake. So just somewhere over there. So let's just mosey on over there. And Dots, you own both games? Dude Jensen was asking whether Dots was talking about Life is Feudal, Yo, or MMO. Oh, so I guess Life is Feudal is the same as Wurm, is that they have the MMO version and then they have like your own personal servers as well, like Wurm does. And Dude Johnson has never played the MMO version of Life is Feudal. So let's think of a nice little spot for this sign without ruining the landscape, because I don't want to plant it too close to... Oh, here's also like a player's own house. We don't want the sign to be kind of like to be, you know, like a visual sort of spam in a way. And that seems to be locked, but somebody does seem to live there. Is this deeded or free land? Village of Hunter's Cove. I like the name. So yeah, a spot that is not going to be like a pain in the butt for the person who owns Hunter's Cove, but will also not sort of ruin the beautiful view of the lake either. I'm thinking to myself that maybe if I were to do it right up against this tree right here, the person living here doesn't have to look at the sign, and yet it's not going to ruin the beautiful landscape either. I think that's a perfect spot. So, and I'm assuming this is free land. Yes, that is free land. So let's just rename this KatsPurr / Elena was here. And this is May 5th, 2020. Okay, and then we'll just plant this right here. So Pycan says, Arc can be an MMO. You run your own server for friends, like you did with Life is Feudal. I see. Yeah, but it's still like a player-run server, right? But Pycan does like, is there like an official server run by the Arc team though? Because I don't think I would be so interested in playing on a player-run server. Let's just push this sign a little bit over in this direction, just so it's more up against that tree. Erroneous says, with Arc, you need someone who knows how to set up a server right. A bad server admin makes the game awful. Oh, really? Huh. And Dots, I definitely remember your name, yes. But of course, you know, you have, one has so many conversations with so many different people during these streams that sometimes it's really, really hard to remember who is who was from where, who has played what. But sure, I remember your name. You also think the person living here will chop the trees. Yes, they probably will, but then they can just like plant another tree in its place. And of course, this wooden sign, it's going to decay eventually anyhow, so I don't think that's in anyone's way. What is that over there? A crocodile. So, let's go back over in this direction and just check out that desert a little bit more. So Dots, was there something like particular that we talked about that you're sort of referring to when you said that don't you remember me? Because that actually helps me remember like who is who. If there was something like special that we talked about, then I would be like, oh yeah, I remember that discussion. Let's actually have a little peek over here and see what's over here first. That is a big old desert here. Very, very nice looking area actually. So Erroneous, you've clearly played Ark. What did you think of it? Oh, and so you had complimented my voice before and said that it sounds like one of those voices from a documentary. Ah, well, thank you very much. Yeah, people do tend to like comment on my voice for some reason. Quite a bit. What is this place? Interesting looking design here. Village of Eden Outpost. I wonder if it's like intentional to, or are they still working on this? It looks like it might be under construction. And the door is actually open. And these poor horses that are probably starving because they're not on the grass. Oh, and this little guy just followed me all the way in. The nerve. That's a very nice little spot. Got a little docking area down below. So Erroneous says Arc is really, really great, but avoid the official servers. Oh, so there are official servers, but you would just want to avoid them. They're full of cheaters, hackers, and really? Wow. So how do they? So the hackers, can they exploit the game to get onto your computer, or? It's better to find a good group of players and play with them on a private server. Huh. Well, that doesn't sound very good, though. I mean, it sounds very concerning if that is the case, that you're sort of forced to play on. So here's a question, Erroneous. Would I just be able to set up my own private server then? Just for trying out the game? Like just a local, like one that's run just from my own computer. Oh, you don't even own it, says Dots. Yeah. You wish you would, but to get the Explorer's Edition is too much, too expensive. So what does the Explorer's Edition do? Hello, Helton, Matiazi, welcome to the stream, and hello there, Mercy and ODB, welcome, guys. The devs don't seem to care about hackers anymore. They just rule the servers and PvP even on a PvE server. Whoa, really? That does not sound very good. My goodness. And you can play single player. Yeah, so everyone confirms. Mercian, Ervonius, Big Oris. And hello, Big Oris. Welcome. Thank you so much for the subscription, Helton. I'm so glad that you are enjoying yourself on my stream. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much for that. So Explorer's Edition is like a season pass. Big Oris says you can play solo, run a local server for your single player game. So just like Wurm Unlimited, how you can do that in Wurm as well. In Dots, the cat has wings now. With the horse ears covering it. Oh, like so. So you run your own cluster of servers, Erroneous. Aha. And so you were saying, I think it was you, Erroneous, who was saying that to run like that you have to know how to set up a server with the proper like settings. If you run your own server. But I guess when you said that, you were referring to if you were to run like a proper server where you would have other players playing. But in the case that I were to just play solo locally and only by myself, I guess in that case I don't have to be too concerned about the admin settings so much, right? That you were only referring to if you were to like make a proper public server. And Helton, you don't get online when the Steam is running, often because you work usually, and it keeps you busy, but you get the subscription for the amount of fun you've had listening to my Elite series. Oh, well, I'm glad you've been enjoying that, Helton. And to play locally, it's the same thing as Wurm Unlimited cats. Okay, good to know. So yeah, Helton, you know, like those Elite Dangerous streams, like each one of them, it's sort of the same thing where I'm like a complete noob and everyone's bombarding me with like advice, but then you know what happens actually afterwards is that I go and practice the things that I learned, and then I get really good at whatever I was really fumbling with during the stream. But it's kind of hilarious because oh, look at this entrance to a castle, guys. I like it. I like it. Look at that. Now that looks very, very impressive, that entrance with the trees and everything. And the you got the Colossus there, and let's just get rid of this nasty old scorpion from like bothering us. So for instance, in the last Elite Dangerous stream, I was trying combat for the very first time. And then what I ended up doing after that stream is I took a whole bunch of combat missions, and now I'm pretty good actually at like killing the bad guys there. But during the stream I was completely clueless. Hello Michio, welcome to the stream. Michio is also another Ven streamer. Let me just do a shout out for you right off the bat and get that out of the way before I forget. So Michio here is a fellow Sandbox MMO player, has a very, very lovely stream, one of my favorite streamers. Very friendly, very nice, chill atmosphere on Michio's streams. And we met in Legends of Aria. What would you say, Michio? About a year and a half ago, perhaps, something like that. Time just flies by so fast. It's sometimes hard to keep track. And then Michio saw me playing Wurm, and so you started playing Wurm as well. And now Michio is actually on the streamer program, and streams Wurm quite a bit. So how have you been, Michio? And I'm doing well, thank you very much. Still self-isolating. It's 8 weeks now that I haven't been outside. And everything is hunky-dory. And Michio, I can't remember now. Have I asked you already whether you have played Elite Dangerous? And Mercian says that you could set your ARC game to a listen server that will allow your friends to join. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that, though, is because I wouldn't want anyone to... because I wouldn't be running it, like, properly and have it running. I wouldn't want to have them, you know, work towards leveling up a character, and then for me to just, you know, shut the server down as soon as my computer goes offline. So I don't think I would do that. But what I could do one of these fine days is do an ARC stream where I just try the game out. I mean, I have the game bought. I might as well, right? Erroneous says there are so many settings that you can change almost everything, especially with the endless mods available to ARC. If you played solo, you could just keep the defaults and take it how it is. Thank you so much for the follow, Grouse. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that sounds good, Erroneous. I might just do that. I mean, I don't know. Would you guys be interested in seeing me try ARC for the very first time one of these days? And Helton says, in ARC there's even a mod to catch Pokemon in it. What? And Puddlefoot, you've been playing Dark and Light and you're so obsessed. 213 hours in 21 days. Oh my gosh. Dark and Light. We're gonna have to Google this now. We're gonna have to Google this. Dark and Light game. Dark and Light on Steam. So it's this one. Recent reviews mixed. Okay, let's have a look at the trailer quickly. Oh, hold on. There. Let's turn off the music quickly. Dark and Light. I'm not sure if I've heard of this game. looks pretty. Ooh, that looks so pretty. Wow. Wow. Have a look at this thing now. So this is genre action adventure massively multiplayer. This is an MMO RPG simulation early access. It's an MMO, is it? It costs 15 euros. I'm gonna add this to my oh, I have to actually go into like Steam here. Let's see, dark and light. We have to go to the store, I think. Let me just get that music back on. Dark and light. Let's add that to my wish list and also follow. Yeah, that looks very cool. And it doesn't cost very much either. So you've been really addicted to that, have you, Helton? No, that was Puddlefoot, actually. That was Puddlefoot who has been playing Dark and Light. You're so obsessed. 213 hours. Yeah, Dot's the avatar. So this this avatar sort of gets a little bit confused sometimes because the tracking of the face gets confused because I have glasses on. So sometimes it loses the tracking, and that's why that happens. That it sometimes just sort of just sits there in place because it doesn't know like what to do when it sees the glare of my glasses or the frames of my glasses. And Friendly Kitten, you sent me dinner pics. Okay, I'll have a look at those. I'll have a look at those later on. And Michio, it's been a few years since you played Elite. So you have played it. I think I did it. I think I might have asked you actually before, haven't I? And Helton, you're playing a lot of X4 Foundations lately, and you're having a lot of fun with it while waiting for the next Elite update. X4 Foundations, I could swear, Helton, I was putting together this space MMO adventuring playlist. Is it the same as, no, this is X Rebirth. That's not the same, is it? Let me just see this guy. There was a whole bunch of like X Rebirth. that's not the same. Oh, here we go. X4 Foundation. So is this somehow related to the, like it's a whole series like X games. These are, I guess, space like based. See, I was looking for like soundtracks from games that had like a space feeling to them. So I've been putting together this playlist. So we have X, we have Anarchy Online, Ark, Destiny 2, Deus Ex, Elite Dangerous, EVE Online, Galactic Civilizations, Halo 3, Stellaris, Surviving Mars, and also this X Rebirth. And I just found this composer, and I meant to actually listen to the other albums he has done and add those songs as well. So you're playing one of those games. So what's that like compared to Elite or compared to EVE Online, Helton? X4 Foundations. Let me just actually look that up as well. Is that on Steam? Let's see. X4 Foundations. There we go. Oh, somebody is broadcasting live right now. Is there a trailer here somewhere? Is it this one? Hold on. Let's have a look at one of these as well. Now how come? Oh, there we go. Well, I'm not going to look at the whole thing, but I can get some kind of picture from that. That looks really cool, though. So that's another game I need to... I'll have to add that later on, just so that we don't get too distracted here. But, yeah. It looks very much like Elite, doesn't it? So you're playing that, are you? Erroneous has Dark and Light, but has never played it. And Mercian enjoys Dark and Light. Oh, nice, Michio! You got your first batch of vodka fermenting in Wurm now. Oh, that's so cool. I know you have waited for this day that you would finally get to start making some booze in Wurm. This has been your one of your #1 goals in Wurm. I'm so happy for you. So how long does it take to ferment the vodka? And then I guess we're going to be, I mean, you have been like sailing around, adventuring and exploring. So I guess we're going to be seeing a drunk Michio sailing around soon, bumping into things with his sailboat. Oh, Dark and Light is is Magic Ark. Same devs, same resources, even in some cases. Oh, I see. Because wasn't there this other game that the Ark people made? And I remember everyone talking about how that was and that was, you were saying this Cave Enclave, and welcome to the stream, by the way. So there was this other game, I forget the name of it, also made by the Ark people, right? And there was basically a carbon copy of Ark, just a different theme. And Puddlefoot, you've played Dark and Light solo on your PC, but recently joined a player-run PvE server, and it's so much more fun. So is that also one of these games where you have to have like a player server to actually play? So there's not an actual like proper MMO run by the team, or so it's not an MMO like WoW, says Cave Enclave. It's a server style with a max per server. You can run it single player. I see, I see. And you're so addicted, Puddlefoot, that you think about it all the time. You lay awake thinking about it while you're trying to fall asleep. Often just get up and play. Whoa. It has been a long time. Like, I know how that feels, but it has been a long time since I have played an MMO like that. I have certainly had that experience, though. But it's been a long time since I felt that. I think well, I've definitely had that thing with Ultima Online, that is for sure. And Dots asks, when are we going to see my nerdy real life face? Well, Dots, you can Google me anytime if you want to see my face. You're going to see the good, bad, and the ugly. But I just don't want to use a webcam, really, for that. So X Rebirth is the previous game in the series. I see, Helton. I see. And X4 is a single-player game. It's a lot like Elite, but with more management-oriented style to it. Feels like a space opera and has many different factions that interact organically. You can build stations that build ships, can have many fleets of ships doing things automatically, can fight in gigantic battles with 100 plus ships. There's a lot to do in there. That sounds good, actually. Man, you guys are getting me addicted to all kinds of new games. Atlas, that's the one I was thinking of, Erroneous. Yes. So I was aware of Atlas. I just was not aware that they had also made that kind of game. Huh. So it takes about a week to ferment the vodka, says Michio. You will likely save the first batch and bottle it up as Oh, I like that idea. Bottle it up as heritage. It's so exciting. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Wurm has so much depth and just keep discovering more. Absolutely. Same here, Michio, even after so many years of playing. It really is deep, isn't it? Michio, well, I think you had been playing, wasn't it so that you had been playing a bit of Wurm Unlimited before? Or you had tried Wurm before? So it's not like I really introduced the game to you, I think. What is this place where we are now, by the way? The village of Sea Spray Forge. Sea Spray Forge. That is an interesting and very cool name, by the way, for a deed. I love it. You got the sea over here, so the waves spraying up their foam onto the deed. An NSA hums, what will we do with a drunken sailor? Save his belly with a rusty razor. Oh no. And Nightbot is going nuts with this spamming stuff. I think I'm going to actually just calm down Nightbot a bit. Let's turn off this one. And maybe we'll turn off this welcome one as well. I don't know why it feels like Nightbot is going crazy spamming today. Yeah, it is a nice name, isn't it, Du Jensen? Oh, there's some war machines in here. I wonder what they're doing in there. But yeah, that, Puddlefoot, about this Dark and Light, I have to say my interest is piqued. So, so if it works on this sort of player server-based thing, I guess that's also a game I could play, like a single player on my machine as well. What is the thing, by the way, Puddle, that makes you so addicted to it? What is the thing that makes you like, makes you sort of obsessed about it? Yeah, but Dots, those are really, really old pictures. I'm old and ugly these days. I might have, you know, been a little bit of a looker when I was younger, but certainly that is not the case anymore these days. Uh, and hello there, Jimmy DeHond. Welcome to the stream. You want a translation to finish, do you? Jimmy is the king of all. So how would that be translated? I think it would go something like this. Jimmy, actually, if I were to actually like pronounce that like a Finnish person would, it would be pronounced Jimmy on kaiken kuningas. Jimmy on kaiken kuningas. So kuningas is king in Finnish. Oh, I better make sure I don't actually die here. These anacondas can be kind of slithery and nasty sometimes. Yeah, but Dots, here's the thing about having a webcam. So what really annoys me about a webcam is the fact that at the end of the day, you're sort of like you're sort of performing, and people are they might try to make you react in certain ways, and so you sort of feel like a puppet, and I don't like that feeling. I tried using webcam once. I didn't enjoy it. I felt it didn't feel comfortable. So yeah, I don't want to do that. So and I was just thinking that with this kitty cat, at least it's better than having nothing, right? So you can at least see like if I'm looking at the chat or not. Jimmy, I am not really a Wurm developer. I am temporarily right now, just for a few months. So I do have the badge on the forums, but I don't have a permanent contract. At least for now. We'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, I'm helping out the team right now before the Steam launch. So I think I've been sort of just brainlessly wandering around this place, but it looks really nice. Very neatly done, this place. Congratulations to whoever has worked on this. Got all the cows lined up here for milking. Nice little spot. And yeah, this was the one that had the beautiful like entrance. It's a really impressive deed, actually. I really like this place. I mean, look at that beautiful, beautiful entrance. And Michio, you totally relate to that. It took you a long time to just be yourself on camera. Yeah, I can imagine, Michio. It's very like what is the word? Exposing, isn't it? You feel exposed and you feel sort of like I don't know. It doesn't feel comfortable for me at all. And Dot says, so Helton, this is Wurm Online that we're playing right now. And my character, well, to be honest, my character still 2 years ago would not have been able to get through that fight. But thanks to the advice of what people were saying on stream, I got my character sort of like geared up in a better way. She has a much better weapon these days, much better armor, and so she can like manage with these nasties much easier these days. But before I started streaming, I could have never just walked through this area. I would have been trying to steer clear of it very, very, very much. And Dot says, just so you know, you inspired me to learn to do UV maps on 3D objects. So Dots, what was the thing that inspired you to do that? Because I have not done any UV maps for Wurm. I have replaced some textures in Wurm, but I haven't done any of the UV mapping. And Erroneous says, if you have a webcam, people expect you to over-exaggerate all your emotions and expressions. It ends up not being the real you and not what people really wanted anyhow. Yeah, that can definitely happen. I can see that happening, and I actually, Erroneous, now that you mentioned that, I'm pretty sure that I've seen like some people's streams where they really do try to be a little bit more animated, and it does give off this kind of fake feeling, doesn't it? And I'm all about sort of just keeping things like natural and genuine. Yeah, I don't want to be like a puppet on my stream. And Erroneous, you stream as well, and you don't use a webcam either. So is that the reason that you don't use one? And so Dark and Light is a survival trade skill game. What hooked you, Puddlefoot, is the skill progression. Skills unlock from doing quests and leveling other prerequisite skills. I see. Lots of hunting to do, Jensen, for sure. I should probably put on my sleep bonus. Should we do a little bit of killing for a change? And just see if we can clean out this desert. NSA says, look at all those mobs. It's a fight skill heaven. Should we do some fighting while we're chit-chatting here? And Erroneous says, yep, we want a streamer, not a children's TV presenter. Hello there, Celadons. Welcome to the stream. Does Wurm have classes or is it classless? There are no classes in Wurm, Celadons. It's very much like Ultima Online and Legends of Arya. So the game, I know the text is probably so small you can't see, but instead of leveling up your characters, instead you have a huge selection of skills. These are all skills. Let me just put this over here. So the skills, they start at 1 and they go all the way up to 100. And so as you do things in the game, the skills go up. And you have, of course, all of your normal crafting skills like you would see in any other game. But then there's a whole bunch of extra ones that you probably have never even seen in any other game, such as puppeteering or playing with a yo-yo, or exorcism and stuff like that. You haven't visited. By the way, Michio, which servers have you visited? So you haven't visited Celebration yet. Have you crossed the server lines and gone to visit the other, or crossed the seas rather, gone to visit the other servers? And so Erroneous, you don't use a webcam because you all don't want to turn to stone. And Pycan, if you ever stream, which isn't very often, but when you do, you'll never use a webcam. You just can't be yourself, I feel. Yeah, I mean, I tried it, and that one time that I did, I was so stiff. I didn't feel. I think that my voice sounds much more interesting than how I animate physically as like a... how would I say that? The voice sounds much more interesting than how I physically move when I'm talking, basically. You have to be kind of a performer in that kind of situation and have all these like interesting expressions and stuff too, and that's not me at all. I'm very, very much like subtle in my movements and my expressions, actually. And Dots, too many spiders here. You have spider phobia. And you're off now, Dots. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's a good thing that there is a phobia mode here in... oh, there's like a corpse of a fog spider. There is a phobia mode here in Wurm, but I don't have it turned on. Puddle says, you have a very kind face, Cats. It matches your personality perfectly. It would have freaked you out if I look super mean or have a resting bitch face. Oh, I can definitely, Puddle, I could definitely have a resting bitch face. I can. I mean, it's not like it's intentional. Thank you so much for the follow, Ivana Games. Welcome to the stream. I don't actually... Puddle, I don't usually have a big smile on my face, and that can very easily look like a resting bitch face, actually. I think that's probably one of the reasons I also don't use a webcam, because I think I probably sound much more friendly than how I look. Like the voice that I have, like the friendliness that I have in my voice and the way I talk is genuine, but shall we say that my face doesn't convey the same thing. In a way, because I'm not so animated. And Celadons, can you use magic in this game? Yes. So there are like priest skills. So priests, I guess you can say that priests can sort of be seen as mages in this game. And so Celadons, have you ever seen my Wurm streams before? Or have you ever heard about Wurm before today, or what's the situation there? Because I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about Wurm. If you have a webcam, you can't just mute the mic and stuff a quick Dorito in your face. Yeah, that's for sure. And doing things like blowing your nose, for instance. Like, for instance, when we were watching one of those trailers, I muted my mic and I blew my nose. And you guys didn't have to hear any of it. How many guys do I have on me? It's just these two. Those hell scorpiuses are kind of nasty though. Of course I could attack high. Just put this up here so I remember to use it. Oh, I'm too far as well. There we go. And this guy will heal me up right nicely with life transfer. So here's a question actually, guys, about priests. So, because I don't know very much about priests. I mean, I do have a priest myself, but I only use her for, you know, blessing things and so forth. But since priests are sort of like mages in this game, do priests ever cast spells where they would, you know, have like a little effect coming from them, like a... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No! What? You are not allowed to ride? What the hell? Oof. Did you see that, guys? You are not allowed to mount the aged fat Tahu Flash as a driver. I got that message, guys, in the event window. What was that all about? Huh? Very strange. What was I saying? Oh yes, the priest. So, I'm interested to know whether priests, when a priest casts a spell, do they always hold the little statuette in their hands, or do they ever have like a nice, like, proper, like, animation of, you know, throwing out like a bolt of fire or something like that in Wurm? And do they ever have any, like, light effects coming from them when they cast spells? So I've never seen priests in action, like, during a battle. I've always wondered Oh, we all know, really, that when you blow your nose, it sounds like a harp playing. Oh my god. Oh, that's horrible. Believe me, Erroneous, it does not sound like a harp playing, no. Hello, Perry G, nice to see you. Have you just come to Celebration to murder the resident evil animal population? Well, it seems I have, Perry G. Actually, what we're doing today is today our goal was to find this spot, and we're just looking around, exploring, and then we saw all these animals, and everyone got super excited that, oh my goodness, so much like skill gain, possibility to get some skill gain. So I thought, hey, let's put on the old sleep bonus and maybe do a little bit of like a battle here while we chat. How are you doing, Perry G? So NSA says there's no animation, they just stand still and hug the statuette. Oh, that's boring. You'd kind of want them to do that kind of like, you know, extending their hand out kind of thing that you see. Oh my goodness. Just the statuette, you think, Timoka. So is there not even any kind of light effect? That needs some work. Helton says, Cats, another game you might be interested in is Conan Exiles. I do actually have that one. I did play it for a little bit, but I probably didn't. So what basically happened was I kept on dying and then having to start over again and over again and over again. And it was only recently that somebody explained to me that Cats, all you had to do was look for your body and you would have found your stuff. And it felt, I probably didn't understand that during the time that I was playing it, because everything sort of reverted back to the beginning, and then I I should have probably understood that, hey, your stuff is on a body somewhere, but I didn't understand that. I just took it in a way that I was restarting, that it was sort of like one of those survival games where you just start from the beginning again. But yeah, that's apparently not the case, that you can actually build like a house and stuff there. I should probably give it another go. You played it a lot with your wife, and you had a lot of fun building a fortress in the desert. It's more of a combat-oriented survival game, but it's a lot of fun. I should give it another go. I mean, I tried it back when it first launched, and basically for two reasons. A, my old game dev friend, who I worked with at Digital Chocolate, she makes the characters for that company, and so she did them for Conan Exiles as well. And so I was just curious to, see her work. And then also, because I used to play the Conan, like MMO, I forget the name of it now, Age of Conan by Funcom. And so I was just curious to see how that, based on the MMO that they had made, like how that one is looking. I should give it another go, though. I do have it in my Steam library still, of course. People do mention it to me quite a bit, actually. Hello, Sloth Slayer. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Celadons, you did hear there was a game called Wurm before, but you didn't really know any details about it. I see, Celadons. So, how much do you know about the game, Celadons? So, you're probably aware that it's like a sandbox MMO that is a quite old one. It has been around since, or it's been public at least, it's been around for an even longer time, but it's been available to the public for since 2006, so it's a pretty old one. I've been playing it for years and I still love the game. It still offers new things for me. And Johnny says, no anime, oh okay, there's some effects on healing spells and ice spells, but only after the timer is done for priests. No animation on the actual character though. I see. And Helton says the losing items on death thing, it's a setting you can disable in the game. What? In Conan Exiles, you can set that not to lose your stuff? What the heck? Really? That seems a bit weird that you'd be able to control something like that. Wouldn't it make the game too easy for you then? So tentacles give a lot of animation, says Dude Jensen. Aha. From priests doing the tentacles thing. And Perry G asks, can you play Conan Exiles in single player? Helton says you can. Hello there, Chavo Valdez. Welcome to the stream. So the server sets that rule. I see, I see. Maybe we should give that a go one of these days. Give Age of... no. Conan Exiles another go. So Helton says, the game got a lot better since release, Cats. There are a lot of server options now that you can change for your single player game. Huh. Well, maybe we should give it a go one of these days. I should, once I get this Wurm stuff out of the way, so right now I'm super busy working on the Wurm stuff for the Steam launch, and but once that it's just for 3 months, and once that is over, and I'll have more time to do some streaming again, maybe we could start to do this, that we have like a dedicated Wurm stream, which is on Tuesdays, a dedicated stream for Elite Dangerous, which I'm really addicted to right now. I'm assuming that addiction is not going to go anywhere soon. And then maybe we could have a dedicated day to just playing some random game that I haven't streamed before. I mean, we could try Ark, we could try Conan Exiles, we could try this Dark and Light game, and we could discuss like different games to try out, as long as they're not too expensive, and especially if I already have them in my library, then they shouldn't, like Conan Exiles and Ark I do already have, so we could do that. And I was also thinking to myself that it would be kind of cool to have like a retro stream as well, where we play like an old 90s like video game that I used to play back then. So Celadons, you have been watching my stream for a while now, so you have a basic idea. Okay, well, if you have any questions, Celadons, just let me know. Hello there, Withhold. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you back. Oh, Wu Wei, I'm really interested in Star Citizen. I have been, man, Wu Wei, once Star Citizen launches, like, if it's actually like a good game, a good solid game once it launches, like, and who knows when the heck that is gonna be, I am so gonna be playing that. Because that's exactly the kind of like dream, like space themed MMO that I would like to play. It just worries me a little bit. I don't want to get into it yet because there's just not enough to do. It's not ready enough from what I hear to play. Like there's some things you can do, like you can kill some bad guys, you can land on planets, you can fly around in your ship, but it's just, kind of lacking still. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, you understand that, Wu Wei. And Du Jensen says you should give Life is Feudal a chance too. So let's just have a look at that on Steam here. Life is Feudal. I think I am following it. I should be at least. So the MMO version, does that have... That has both PvE and PvP servers, right? It is a very pretty looking game. I will not lie. Yeah, I am following it. I should probably add it to my wish list as well. Yeah. And Erroneous, you were thinking about Ultima Underworld 2, so you installed it. 6 hours later, you checked the time. You had made thoroughly sure it works. Nice. Yeah, the Ultima Underworld. So if anyone was around playing video games in the 90s, I mean, those single-player Ultima games, especially the Ultima Underworlds, were just the best. Those were actually well, together with Ultima 8, the Pagan, the Ultima Underworlds were really, really atmospheric. So you enjoyed it, did you, Erroneous? Man, that might be interesting to actually play. Life is Feudal MMO is mainly PvP except for very small areas, says Du Jensen. Oh, I see. So do you think, Du Jensen, that instead I should just play like a single player, in a solo mode somehow? Like my own server, private local server? Here's a question, Du Jensen. Can you, in Life is Feudal, can you actually, is there like thievery there that you could snoop up on people and steal stuff from them? Are we gonna empty this entire desert, guys? Let's just bury these corpses so it looks empty. Is Kat's gonna clean up the entire desert? Oh, we got some money. Rare 5 coin copper. Nice. So you have only played the... So when you say the Yo version, Du Johnson, what is that an abbreviation of? Only the PvE servers you played, I see. Your own, that's what it stands for. Okay, okay. And speaking of stealing, so I know we have stealing in Wurm on the PvP servers, but what can you do? So you can steal stuff from people's crates and chests and stuff like that, right? Because there is the whole like concept of locks and being able to, I guess, take stuff from the... But is that like an actual skill in Wurm? I guess there... No, I don't think I've seen a stealing skill in Wurm, have I? So it's basically if you were to be on somebody else's deed in PvP servers, if you were to just, I guess, if you were to just drag something from somebody's chest into your own inventory, you would do the act of stealing, right? Can you actually open people's like inventory, like have a look at their like if somebody's standing next to you and they have like a backpack, can you open that backpack and try and steal something from their backpack in Wurm on the PvP servers? And Helton says, maybe you could get at evening causing mischief in Britain one of these days. You miss Ultima Online so much on occasion that you started writing plugins for the emulators just to get a quick taste of the game on occasion. Aw. Yeah, Ultima Online. Oh, the best, the best. Hello there, Bill Slowski. how am I doing? I'm doing absolutely fine, Bill. Staying healthy, staying secluded. We're going to get a nice delivery of groceries tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. So we're getting pretty tired of the food that we do have. Is there questing in Wurm? Asks Bill. And how are you doing, Bill, by the way? How are you doing on this Tuesday evening? Is there questing in Wurm? No, not really. There is like these little initial quests you do when you first start the tutorial, when you start the game. But no, it's not one of those types of MMOs that has quests where you run back and forth like giving stuff to quest givers. No. This is a very sandboxy MMO, like probably the sandboxiest MMO you'll ever find. So it's very much, it's much more about giving the players freedom to do whatever they want and then just leaving them to it and letting them create their own goals. So Du Jensen says thievery is a skill in Wurm and there are 3 sub-skills. Really? My goodness. Let's have a look at that. I was not aware. Let's have a look here. I know you guys can't see this, but let me just check this quickly. Thievery, look at that. Stealing, lockpicking, and traps. Look at that. So how does the stealing work on the PvP servers, guys, in Wurm Online? And if you get to locksmithing level 15, you can make lockpicks, says Erroneous. Level 25, you mean? Okay. You're doing okay, Bill. I'm glad to hear that. And Perry G says it doesn't have kill 25 rats type quests. So Wurm doesn't have kill 25 rats type quests, but there is a journal with accomplishments you can try. Yeah, we need to do that journal stuff one of these days. I know I keep on saying it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I wonder if these guys are spawning in as we're... I have a slight feeling I won't be able to get this desert empty, will I? So NSA says that the Valorant missions... Oh, that's true. The Valorant missions are kind of quests, but not really in the same sense as most other MMOs. Now that's true, and again, missions, another thing that I haven't done. I just don't know why I never got interested in doing them in this game. So, can you actually, does anyone know if you can like snoop somebody's like, what's the, hold on, let me just see this, hold on. Yes, look equipment. Can you open the equipment? You can in Wurm, of course, do that. That, I mean, we've looked at what people are wearing. We were looking at Johnny's beautiful dragon scale armor earlier on, and we could snoop his inventory to see what he was wearing. But can you, I guess you could, no, you could not be able to steal something directly from what they're wearing, because this of course represents sort of like this view. I should probably do some repairing here. But what about if somebody is wearing a backpack? And if they have things in the backpack? Does that even show in this like look equipment view? And are you able to steal anything from there on the PvP servers? I wonder. We have just received the title Disciple. Huh. I wonder what I got that one from. Pole arms increased to 20. I wonder if it was from that. No, staff increased to 50. Must have been from the staff increasing to 50 that I got that Disciple title, I think. Yeah, I have a feeling, guys, that we're not going to be able to empty this desert. They're just going to keep spawning, aren't they? They spawn like fast enough that it actually fills up the desert again. So I think what we'll do is we'll just go and see what else there's to see here before wrapping up the stream. So we planted our sign over there. And let's just go and see the other side of the desert over here. And there's also a mountain range. Let's go see what that's all about. Look at all these corpses over here. We should bury those just to get the chance to get a little bit of money. Venerable troll. Yeah, now especially since the sun is still up. Let's see if there's anything else actually on my Steam list here that I have bought but just haven't played. Borderlands 2 I've never played. I bought it, I think it was actually Borderlands 2 I got free from something. I just can't remember where. I think it was some kind of bonus extra thing. But I guess that's probably not my type of game anyhow. But it's supposed to be a good one, isn't it? What else do we have here? There's Conan. The Forest actually is a game that I've been kind of following for several years now. Is this one of those survival games though? I think it is, isn't it? Store page. Overwhelmingly positive. What? Overwhelmingly positive recent reviews. Huh. So this is action adventure indie simulation. Huh. I wonder if we should play The Forest one of these days. Because I do have it purchased. No, I'm following it, I guess. No, I don't understand now. How come I have it in my library then? The Forest, I have... Oh, I have it actually bought. Okay. Yeah, I think I bought that like way back in the day. Have you guys played The Forest at all? And what do you think of it? No Man's Sky, man, I want to play that as well, Elton. Absolutely. It's been one of those games that I have been keeping my eye on for a very long time. I would love to play that. And hello, Zehtron. The Forest is terrifying in VR. Oh, right. I can imagine. Yeah, I don't have any VR equipment myself. Green Hell is also good. Green Hell. Let's see what this is about. Oh. Very positive reviews. Single player online co-op. Indie simulation. I'll have to just follow that as well then. And Erroneous says Green Hell is amazing, really. And Erroneous, you have The Forest. You like the building, but the hordes are brutal. Oh. So let's see what else I have in my library here. And Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So I've played through San Andreas. I've played through GTA 5. But Vice City, I have only purchased, but I haven't played it. I wonder if that would be fun to stream. Let's see what else we have here. Mortal Online. Actually, I think Mortal Online, I think people have asked me many times, have I played Mortal Online? And then I said I didn't. But it looks like I actually have it here in my inventory. And I'm remembering very vaguely now that I think what the reason I have it there is because somebody asked me, begged me to come and play it a little bit. And then I tried it just to be nice to them. And then I didn't really enjoy the game very much myself. And then I just sort of went in there, went out, and just to make that person happy. But it does look like it's in my inventory. Interesting. Novus Inceptio was a game that I purchased I'm not sure if anything has been done to this. September 25th, 2019. Nothing has been done with this this year at all. So that doesn't look very promising. And Perry G says, Vice City is amazing, but not very family friendly. Yeah, we would have to definitely put the setting on for, you know, the age restriction thing in the Twitch stream. If we were to play something like that, for sure. And Mortem, hello. Stream Anarchy Online. I mean, Anarchy Online is now on Steam as well these days. That might be interesting. I mean, I have my old bureaucrat character, but I guess then I would have to pay like the subscription to play her, right? So, and I can't really imagine playing Anarchy Online with my Yamaha, without my Yamaha like ship. Like as a new player, I think it would be so tedious. It's so much nicer when you finally get your own ship and you can fly around easily. I don't know what is the monthly subscription for Anarchy Online anyhow, by the way? Do we have any information here? Let's go to the store page. Does it have any information on the monthly subscription price for this? I don't know. I forget. Oh, $15. Oh my god. $15 for Anarchy Online? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, the amount that they're requesting for that. Who is going to pay $15 for Anarchy Online? Because it is so outdated. I mean, it is a little bit like tedious to play it, to be honest, these days. I mean, I loved the game back in the day. I loved playing it back in the early 2000s, whenever it was first released. But these days, you cannot ask for $15 a month for Anarchy Online. Some games, some older games, totally deserve to still get a high subscription, but that is not the case in the case of Anarchy Online, for sure. I've played it on and off once in a while, just for the sake of nostalgia, and man, it is treacherous to play it these days because it's so outdated. Yeah, that's much more reasonable, Mortem. Absolutely, $5 sounds much more like it. Absolutely. That would be reasonable. Like for $5, I would be even willing to, just for the sake of doing an Anarchy Online stream, I could do that. But yeah, not so. And Erroneous, you have so many Humble Bundle items that you already have. You should just start doing giveaways. Yeah, I've got the same problem that I've got. So, and it's not just the Steam games that I have. I mean, I think we can all relate to like the amount of games that I also have like tucked away in my cupboards that I bought on a sale at some point and then I just never played. It's horrible. What else do I have in my library here? Let's see. XCOM Enemy Unknown. I only started playing it a little bit, but didn't get very far. And the Witcher series, of course, never. I started playing the first one a little bit, and couldn't really get into it either. I should probably just play Witcher 3 directly. And the Hunter game, I saw, gosh, what was his name again? The one Wormian streamer from Australia, I think he was, who's done the tutorial videos. He plays the Hunter. Gosh, what was his name again? I was watching him play that on stream, and then I thought to myself, that looks pretty cool. And I played it a little bit, and I get the idea of it, but it didn't keep my interest for very long, to be honest. So Mortem says that the problem with the free model in Anarchy Online is if you subscribe, you can never go back to free on that account. Oh, I see. So what all can you do with a free account, Mortem? I think we're just gonna have to climb down at this point. I'm guessing, Mortem, that with a free account, you can't own like something like your own ship or something like that, right? The free account is the entire base game with the Nodum Wars booster pack. Aha. So it just doesn't have the Shadowlands expansion, and I guess they must have done expansions after that as well. So you wouldn't be able to have the Job like apartment with that one, which is fair enough. And I'm not even sure the Job apartments, like I have one with my bureaucrat. Oh, what do we have down there? The beautiful, beautiful Job apartment. I'm not sure if that was just like an early player thing. Like if you bought it, wasn't the Job apartment that you had to buy the Shadowland expansion and then you got the right to have a Job apartment or something like that? I'm not sure if other people have been able to get one after that. But I do have one with my proper Anarchy Online account. And someone has a huge storage over here. What's the name of this place? The village of Hermitage. I think we've been here, guys. Or at least it sounds very, very familiar. I think we have looked at this place at some point, which means that we've already gotten into the lands that have been explored. So I think I should start heading back to my ship now. Let's go northwest from here. You think you have a Job apartment as well? Long time. Yeah, it was a very nice apartment. I mean, back then, considering what player houses were usually like in MMOs, that was a really, really nice player house for sure. So, but that's really good to know, Mortem, that so you can basically play for free. So you could play for free. You could get your own Yamaha ship in the base version of the game. You just would not be able to access the Shadowlands areas, and you wouldn't be able to have a Job apartment. But you could have the... Wasn't it so that there was like this really crappy little apartment that you can have in the base game? But like this really dark one, I remember. It was a very sort of like unpleasant little dark room. And you could check out the repopulation has that AO vibe to it, but you think the game is pretty empty. Oh, repopulation, I haven't even heard of that one. And Wu Wei, you want to watch me play Dune 2. Now the last time I played Dune 2 would have been back in the 90s. Man, I really loved the game back then. I wonder if I would even know how to play anymore. All I do remember is that it was an RTS and I really, really loved it. And that there was these sand like worm thingies that you had to watch out for. Uh, and Mordem says, correct, you can play the game as it was launch basically. Free apartment is a prison cell, yeah. It's horrible, that little dark room, I remember. I think we're gonna have to climb over this. What direction are we headed in now? It looks like I have to drink up and eat up as well. Dune 2 was redone in Dune 2000 with the upgraded engine. Oh, I wonder if that's on Steam. Let's have a look. Hello, Steam. Wake up. Weird. Well, we'll see if it sort of refreshes in a moment. Wu Wei, you are rereading the Dune series before the movie comes out in December. Nice. Absolutely, Mordem. Back then, Anarchy Online was indeed amazing to play. Absolutely. I can't start climbing here because I don't have any stamina, so we're just gonna have to go over here for a moment, stand for a moment, and gain our stamina again. Oh, and there's one of those beautiful opals again. So, Mordem, just a question for you. Like, so do you still play like Anarchy Online from time to time? Vergent, you liked how that worked out. Dune 2 spawned Command and Conquer series. Then they turned around and remade Dune 2 with the latest engine. So did they, let me just get this straight, Vergent. Did they use the Command and Conquer engine to remake Dune 2? And is it the same company that made Command and Conquer? How come she's climbing so... she's not actually climbing slow, it just feels that way because we're in third person. So let's go to first person. I think it feels a bit better that way. Same engine, same company. Oh, I see. Yeah, I never did play Command and Conquer. I know a lot of people were playing that though. So it still hasn't refreshed. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Dune. So there's Dune C. But at least Dune 2 is not... What is this Dune C thing? No, that's definitely not the case. Dune 2. So there is probably the... Oh, Abandonware. Huh. Dune 2000. Let's have a little look on this video here. How it looks. Yeah, you can definitely see that the, you know, more high res like assets, higher res UI and everything. Man. Yeah, I mean, Dune 2, that came way, way before the first Warcraft, didn't it? Wasn't it that Dune 2 and Command and Conquer were before the Warcrafts and Starcrafts? Or did they come around the same time? I can't remember now. But I definitely remember playing Dune 2 before I played any of the Warcraft 1 or StarCraft, and I guess StarCraft came much later after the Warcraft series started as well. I can't remember anymore. Yeah, Dune 2 would have been my first RTS. So Mortem, you have played Anarchy Online on and off for years, but these days it's just too old compared to games like Guild Wars 2 and Elder Scrolls Online that you can play for free. Yeah. Yeah, and I think we had sort of like a similar conversation about this one time, didn't we? Just a couple of old Anarchy Online players reminiscing, remembering the nostalgia together. And did I see that they're bringing out Red Alert Remastered? Red Alert, I remember that that game title, and I also remember it had a very iconic game box art. That I remember. But I never actually played that back in the 90s. I do remember its existence, though. So Dune 2 was in 1992 and Warcraft was 1994. Okay, Wu Wei, I thought so, yeah. It's funny how you remember these old things from the 90s. Vergant says another tidbit, Dune 2 was so named as two companies discovered they were both making a game based on Doom. By mutual decision, one of them renamed themselves Dune 2 and the other one kept Dune. Wow, so that's why it has Dune 2. I never knew that, Vergant. I always did kind of wonder that. I have to say, I've always wondered, was there like a Dune 1 RTS? And then Dune 2 would have been like a better version of it? So that's why it's called Dune 2. Interesting. So I wonder whatever happened with... We have been here, by the way, in one of our streams, because I remember this guard tower in the little maze here. The little hedge maze. I definitely remember this. At least we're going in the right direction. That is fascinating to hear. So yeah, I wonder what happened with just the Dune with just with nothing else. Like, I guess that really never took off then, did it? And you had both of them, Vergent. So were they even similar types of games? Like, was just the Dune alone, was that also RTS or some other type of game? And Mortem, it's crazy that the 90s is so long ago. You feel so old. I know, right? It's crazy to think how long ago that was. What the heck? That is one big aged champion, huge spider. Let's take this baby down. Completely different games. I see. Huh. Yes, baby spider. And he went down easy peasy. Or is gonna go down. Almost dead. Come on, spider. There we go. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna mosey on over back to my boat here. There's not probably gonna be much interesting things to see, and maybe we'll wrap up the stream at this point because we didn't really find anything too interesting. From the northwest part of Celebration, I mean, we saw some very nice little deeds, but you know how like in some of these Wurm Roulette streams we get into like huge adventures Oh, I wonder what mountain we're on right now. Let's have a look here. I'm assuming I'm assuming if that's northwest, there's a mountain over there. I'm assuming we must be up here somewhere. Do I see the sand by the way of the desert? Could that be? Let me just look in my spyglass. Can't really see. That looks like it could be sand over there. It is a brownish tinge. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I think this was one of those Wurm Roulettes, like you can't win them all. Sometimes they can be super interesting and engaging and lots of cool stuff happens, but this one I think was one of the more boring ones. We didn't really get up into anything too interesting here, but at least we saw the northwest part of Celebration, and that's taken care of. And we can mark it down on the map. So I think I will wrap up. And thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. And it was a nice stream, Helton. I'm glad to hear that. And Wifey is happy. Got her a new tablet for Mother's Day. Oh, that's awesome, Mortem. Yeah, so have a good night, everyone. I will, before the next Tuesday's Wurm Roulette stream, I will be probably streaming some more Elite at some point. So yeah, I'll talk to you all very, very soon. And let me just see whether or not anyone is streaming some Wurm right now. Let's see, Mishu, are you still here? Are you going to be streaming Wurm anytime soon? And oh, there's a whole bunch of folks here, all the good friends here. And when I'm looking at the list of people here in the chat, I do see Mr. Laggy is there. Mr. Laggy, are you going to be streaming today? And what about you, Love Eyes? I can see you there as well. I would love to come and raid one of you if you are. But yeah, let me just have a look at this list. I'm not... Yeah, I don't think any of those guys will be so suitable for like the Wurm Gang. And I guess we could look whether there's anyone actually playing Wurm right now. So it's just us. What about Wurm Unlimited? An error has occurred. What? That's not cool. No, nobody's playing Wurm Unlimited right now. Oh well. Okay, have a good night, guys. Talk to you very, very soon. And stay safe out there.